Tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat, live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. Just go to SamTripoli.gold, use the promo code Tinfoil, and you too can get in on the Precious Metals game for as little as $50 a month. Very excited to have this guest on. She's a longtime listener, and she started a podcast around, I think, 2002, 2003. After listening to the show, I'd like to call her one of my children.
2023.
2023. Oh, 2023. I'd be like, dude, you invented the podcast. That's how long you've been in the game. She's the godmother of podcasting. Very excited to have her on. Her podcast is called Unfiltered Rise. Please welcome Heidi Love. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to share some Mormon stuff with you.
I'm very excited. I'm a big eyebrow guy, and your eyebrows are on point.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, I'm a big eyebrow guy. Big eyebrow guy.
It's a blonde thing. You have to draw them a little bit.
Is that? Yeah, blonde with brunette eyebrows. I'm all about that. You look great. Thanks for coming. Your studio's great. And glad you started a podcast. The more the merrier, I say. The more the merrier. Heidi, for those who may not be familiar with you and your podcast, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Absolutely. I am Heidi Love of the Unfiltered Rise podcast. I didn't make up that name. My parents were raging hippies. So there's that. We'll get into that later. I am everywhere podcasts are served. I do have my own website, unfilteredrisepodcast.com. And I also have a Patreon if you can't get enough of me rambling on. So
do you get in any trouble on your Patreon?
Well, I get in trouble in general because I still live in Utah and so the comments are always fun, right?
Yeah. I can't imagine what that must be like to live in Utah and be talking so much about the Mormon church. And, this is, what was it? I used to talk about how Scientology and Mormonism were like the UPN and what were the two channels that they had way back in the day that were super small? I used to make jokes that they were like the WG and the UPN of religions, where they were like small channels, or the CW and it's UPN, right? That was a channel, right?
Yeah. WG was Chicago, right?
Yeah. So they were kind of offshoots, these little tiny offshoots, and the history. I always found it weird where someone, let's say, even if you go into the 1800s, right? Which seems like a long time ago, but really in human history isn't that long ago. And, you're just like, all of a sudden it's like 1904 and you're like, I figured it all out. I know how the world started. I know what God is. It's totally different than what all these religions have been telling you for years and years and years and years and years. I figured it out. Like Scientology, it's like such a crazy thing to me that you would like suddenly start it like in the 60s or 70s.
Didn't he have a license?
No, he was naval intelligence. People don't talk about that. But the point is, it's very, very interesting to me when you kind of start, like, you remember when we had the guy, his religion was space, Johnny, way back in the day.
The thinking guy
who invented his own religion? Yeah. What was that called? Astronism or something like that?
Yeah.
Now
Zoroastrianism, is that it?
No, that's the oldest.
Yeah,
that's Mormonism.
It was a guy we had on.
Interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to get into that.
What was his name?
And I do like to tell people, I'm not an anti-Mormon loving person, or like I don't have any agenda against personal people. I just feel like if you're being dishonest with people about what you're doing with your whatever it is, I don't care if it's a company or religion or whatever. But if you're not doing this honestly, that's why I speak out. But it has nothing to do with the regular members of the church. Like, this is why I want to.
Most people
they're
just
nice
want
people.
community.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm
They
even
don't
thinking
know.
about going to Russian Orthodox. I know I've been saying that for a while, but it's really more about just trying to meet like-minded people.
Fellowship.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's really what it's all about. So you were born into this. You were born into Mormonism. And before we get into what you wanted to talk about, when did you start to realize something might not be what you think it is?
I don't think I ever would have got out or like completely abandoned ship if it hadn't been for my mom getting out first and planting tiny seeds, and then my husband, because I was full-fledged. Like, I was 100% in this. You couldn't have talked to me about the things I speak about. Like, I would have just shut you down and walked away. I was married at 17 the first time. And no, it wasn't like forced or anything weird. I was mainstream Mormons, not polygamy, but it was just everything in my life centered around that church. And, you know, I did lose my family when I left. But to this day,
your dad or your siblings?
all of my extended aunts, uncles, grandparents, everybody.
That's
The
so
only people
crazy
that
to me.
I have left is my husband and my children and my mom and my brother, but he passed away. So
Sorry to hear that. Rest in
That's
peace. That's crazy to me. That
I just want to start the backup recording. Sorry, I forgot to do that, and I think we might need it for
okay. We'll have
Recording in progress.
Okay, thank you. That is crazy to me that you could lose your family over ideology.
No, and they'll start like they'll act like you don't exist at all, which is crazy to me because it's not like, oh, happy birthday or Merry Christmas. No, it's you don't exist. Bye. They won't talk to your children, which to me blows my mind.
I mean, that just
Yes.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's not to the extent of that, but it's like how Trump broke up families before we started to really not be into Trump. I mean, I had good friends of mine stop talking to me because they thought I was a Trump guy, and they stopped talking to their family, dude, because of Trump.
I thought you were talking about immigration. You mean just people who over politics fell out like that? That's the craziest.
Isn't
thing.
that crazy?
I don't understand that. Yeah.
It's so crazy to me that there could be, because like very early on, especially into COVID, I realized that, you know, that me and people I love don't see it the same way. I can either like fight with them or just let it go, you know, and just, you can believe whatever you want to believe. And so that's crazy. I'm sorry you went through that.
that's okay. I'm not angry about it so much, and I've never been excommunicated because I know like the people that are Mormon are going to be like, she's lazy. She just doesn't want to do the things. And I'm like, guess what? My name is still untainted on the records because I thought by now they'd chuck me out, but I guess I'm going to have to chuck myself out. And so that's a whole process.
Is that important to you that you are checked out?
Well, I just assumed like everybody I've ever known has been chucked out like as soon as they start this, and I'm right down the street from like 30 churches and I'm still here, and I just am like, that's weird. But so I guess I'm gonna have to do it myself, and you have to go through an attorney and get an affidavit to be removed from the whole roster. It's a big deal. So
crazy that they got roster.
Oh, you have no, they know everything. Like when you do tithing there, it isn't like pass the plate, we hope you give. It's sit down with your taxes and you're short. So
short on giving to the church?
If it's not perfectly 10%, yeah, you're not going to get your temple recommend. So you can't go do all the things you're supposed to do if you didn't pay. But you can make it up by like going and scrubbing toilets and being a janitor or something.
You know, and I just want to say, because we do have a lot of Mormon followers, that this is a discussion. If I can talk about whether Jesus was real or not, I can talk about anything, and it's nothing personal against anybody. As long as you're a good person and you get close to God, you can do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting children. That's my whole thing, and that will always be my whole thing. We just did something on Judaism or Zionism. So everything is on the table. So where do you want to begin?
Well, it depends. I'm going to ask you. So we have all kinds of fun conspiracies and things we can open up on slides. So I speak about occult Mormonism and its occult roots. And then I also speak about the Mormon Mafia in great lengths. Both of them are pretty long conversations, but I can try and do my best to kind of intertwine them. But let me know where you want to start.
I want you to start. Where do you guys want to start? Cult Mormonism?
I love
It's like the founding of the church.
Yes,
too.
let's
Please.
go.
Let's go there.
Let's
Let's go
go.
there.
Okay. Well, let me share my screen because I always say a picture's worth 1,000 words because I just know as an ex-member myself, I never would have believed anything that people told me unless there was a reason. Like, you got to show me some proof. Like, I'm not just going to believe what you're saying. That's just not going to happen. So whenever you want to get to know anybody, and can you see this okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. You kind of want to look at their family and their family roots and like, what is this person about? So I kind of did that with Joseph Smith after I started down this road. And I thought, okay, I just want to see like, who are these members of his family? Well, a lot of times you'll go up this familysearch.org, which is the Mormon genealogy site. 23andMe, Ancestry.com, all those things, they'll say, we aren't owned by the Mormon church. We have nothing to do with them. True. But every single piece of record you have is pouring in from familysearch.org, which was created under Hughes Dynamics, under the Mormon Mafia, under Howard Hughes. So that's a bomb in itself. And this starts out like you use it a lot to go down genealogy. And I could not find these grandparents or great grandparents of Joseph. So I went up his uncle's line because he can be found, and same family. So same grandpa. And I found these weird things that I thought, why are they kind of obfuscating this when Mormons are very patriotic usually. Like I said, my problem is not with the normal members. It is 100% with the things they hide that normal members would never know, much like this slide. So Samuel Smith is this captain that is involved in, this complete part of like a very important situation with the Boston Tea Party. He's a selectman in Topsfield, Massachusetts, and they'll deny it. They'll say, well, it might not be him, same name, same area. Joseph Smith's father was born in this area. I mean, everything traces, like I've traced it all the way around. And so they want us to think that these people are poor dumb farmers, right? Joseph Smith, poor dumb farmer, like couldn't have written the book because he was not educated enough. Meanwhile, he's studying Hebrew with this Jewish guy he knew, but that's fine.
Whoa.
Whatever. Yeah. So it gets like that. So when we find these things and we're like, why on earth would they hide this Captain Samuel Smith, Society of the Cincinnati? They can check that too on the Daughters. It's like the Daughters of Revolution or something. And so you can go check all these facts out for yourselves. And I'm like, okay, that seems weird. Why would they hide him? And so I went one more up. Even LDS Living published this in 2002. So this is like a legit article. And I couldn't figure out why they would want to hide this guy. Seems fine. Seems great. Well, his dad, though, born in 1666, like 666. But that's a long
whatever. Time ago, dude.
Right. And his name is also Samuel Smith, but minus the captain. So I found out, probably is the reason why things are a little bit murky and they don't want you going down this level, because he was very much involved in the Inquisition and he had some witches hung. So Mary Eastie.
They're all over American history, huh?
I would say that Mormonism is the one very inconspicuous, the nicest people you've ever met that have infiltrated every aspect of America, in my opinion. Not the normal people. I'm talking the upper echelon. This works just like anything else.
Has psychopaths. I don't care who it is.
Yep.
Even clowns had John Wayne Gacy. You know what I'm saying? Like every group has psychopaths. And that's why, like, even the discussion right now in Israel, not to get into that because we just did an episode on it, but, I'm Armenian. Imagine an Armenian going, there's no shady Armenians out there. They're all good people that are above board and only want to make chicken. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right. Yeah. No, not true. Yeah.
It's just really crazy.
The thing is the whole thing about America is they hide everything about our history, right? And there too, like this is all constant, and it's kind of sad in a way because really it wasn't that bad. Like let's not chuck out the whole history over it, but they did. And that what do they say? They say no, he was from the burned over district. Well, true, but every single one of his paternal family line is from Topsfield, Massachusetts, and these were important people. They were, like I said, select men running the town. So I just feel like the church did a disservice there. And we're going to talk about how the church is very different now than what I'm going to show you back in the day. And D. Michael Quinn, I'm going to cite my sources really well on here because people are going to come for me and I already know they are. But it's happened. I've been on confessionals. Like, they came for me.
We love Tony Merkel.
Yep, Tony was great. The comments were brutal.
Yeah,
so
I know what that's like. Real quick before you move to this, the Tea Party they believe was a false flag. Done by the Brit. I don't know if you're gonna get into that, but it's like, that the Bank of England wanted basically to take over the territories from the Crown, which owed them like $180 million, and that's like way back in the day.
But as in they knew it was coming.
What
the people that were going to come destroy the team?
No, they basically convinced them probably to do it.
Okay, because isn't there something that it wasn't the Indians that they were in on that they did it to themselves? I've heard some theory like that.
Well,
they dressed up as them too,
as
like
Indians. Yeah, so it was literally a false flag.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I have to tell you something. Like I don't know how much you know about the Mormon massacre. But we're going to get way later in history if you've watched the show Primeval. And what did they do? They dressed up as Native Americans and attacked this party later. These Mormons did. So, playbooks, same family line. I don't know.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people remember a lot of that they were dressed like Native Americans.
They also had Native Americans go with them because of the fact of the second anointing, which is juicy and I can spill it now or later, but
we'll shut up.
Either
and let you do your presentation.
No. I actually like it when people interrupt. You have to remember, like, as much as these slides are here to go over, this was my real life, so I can go in and out of this slide presentation and the history we've learned, like, from clear back, other than the stuff that they've hidden. I mean, I went to seminary for all the years, like 4 years of seminary that you go in high school. Like my whole life was the Mormon church. So it's easy for me to go in and out of things.
Wherever you want to go.
No problem. What I'm saying is interrupt me anytime. It's fine.
Perfect.
I don't care. So I think it's fun to
talk. The listeners are like, don't let him do it. Don't let him do it. Let her talk.
All right. Either way, I like it.
Yeah. All right. It's all yours.
But Joseph Smith Sr. is Joseph, the actual founder of the church's dad, and his parents' name, and people are going to come at me for this, but I still think it's interesting. His dad's name, Azazel, not Azazel, but it's real close.
Yeah.
And names are names and it's whatever, but you have to understand when you put it all together, it makes a story. And this is his mother on the other side, the Mac line. And this is an actual excerpt from the church history library in Salt Lake City. And they're going to say this is twisted. Like anything that I bring that's real proof, they'll find some way to say it's not. But this is in your museum, people. I didn't write this, right? So it says this, and I think this is important to say. She's talking to her friend and she's writing a letter, and they have this copy of this letter. And it says, "Let not my reader suppose that because I shall pursue another topic for a season, that we stopped our labor and went at trying to win the faculty of a brack, drawing magic circles, or soothsaying to the neglect of all kinds of business." What?
Oh, sorcery.
Right. So the faculty of a brack, we open up a can of worms that the Mormon church really doesn't like. You have to also understand at the time Mother Smith is writing this, she's lost almost all of her children. Brigham Young's hijacked everything and is heading to Utah. She's left pregnant, alone with no way to support herself. And Mother Smith, she does a flex. Oh, don't worry. She's smart. She is no dumb farmer, this one. And she makes this book. She writes this whole book and basically hints to, but doesn't spill the tea on a bunch of things I'm going to tell you today. But she basically put the pressure on Brigham to be like, if you do not take care of me and my remaining children and just bounce out, I promise you, I will come for you with this book.
Now, what are their relationships, Lucy Mack and Brigham Young?
So they were friends before, all the martyring and death of everybody. I mean, this is like a seriously tragic situation. Lucy Mack is the mother of Joseph Smith. Emma's pregnant, not Lucy, sorry. Emma's pregnant at this time, his wife. So you've got these two women living together with no men. The oldest man is like 11, which left the church in a problem because he was supposed to take over the church, but he's 11. So there was nobody to come and take over. That was just the plan. Nobody expected him to die. And then there was kind of a battle over who was going to do it. And they have this great speech kind of competition. And Sidney Rigdon and Brigham Young go to this, but Sidney Rigdon is a little bit under the weather at this time. And so he's not doing the best. And Joseph Smith supposedly comes through, not Sidney Rigdon, through Brigham Young. And everybody says they saw him give a speech through Brigham Young that he channeled into his body.
Who did
somehow.
This?
This is Brigham Young. He gave his speech and everybody saw Joseph.
I'm sorry about that. Who channeled through him?
So Joseph Smith went into Brigham's body at this speech competition, and all of the crowd said, it was him. It was our dead prophet. The dead prophet spoke through Brigham.
The senior Joseph Smith.
Junior, because he's the one that founded the church.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's the 11-year-old? I'm sorry, I'm stupid.
You're good.
So the mother that's writing this, she's married to
Joseph Smith Sr.
Okay. And then their son is the one who
yes.
founds it, but they're saying that the son channeled through Brigham Young or the
because dad? Everybody's dead at this point. The dad, the son, the brother, everybody.
Hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our good friends at Hims. Listen. No one plans for hair loss, but through Hims, you can take the next step with confidence. Access treatments made with clinically proven ingredients like finasteride, and minoxidil to stop hair loss and regrow hair in 3 to 6 months. No waiting rooms, no hoops, just ingredients with a track record of results.
Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medication, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted, clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil, as we said before, can stop hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. No hidden fees, no surprise costs, just real personalized care on your schedule. Think of Hims as your digital front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for real health concerns all in one place.
For simple online access to personal and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/tinfoil hat. That's hims.com/tinfoil hat for your free online visit. That's hims, HIMS.com/tinfoil hat.
Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Guys, listen, Bitcoin's crushing. Ethereum's just hitting all-time highs. But you know what? There's a ton of other coins out there, and you got to find someone who can tell you which one to buy. And that's our boy, James Fan and Copy My Crypto. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Guys, does it piss you off to watch crypto fly up in price for over a decade and you've still done nothing about it? It makes sense. Crypto is complicated and really boring. Well, here's the good news. You don't need to know a thing about crypto to make money like so many have. The CopyMyCrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just copy him. It's like having a big brother that knows exactly what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing you don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You just simply copy along. So let me tell you about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has so many more subscribers, and this says 54,000. It's way past that. Okay, he's got a ton of subscribers. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put $100 in each one, it went on to be worth over 123,000. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick of the year, the one he singled out, Phantom, went up 692 times. That happens, man. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify yourself. So if you'd like to join the over 2,800 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/tinfoil. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. Okay. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but our viewers get full access for just $1. Yes, you missed out on crypto. Buy a little bit here and there, buy a little bit here and there. But there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you miss out on all of them? Nope. Guys, don't waste time. Go to the site and read it. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. It's ended money worries for so many. It just may do the same for you.
So let me go into church history really quick and tell you if you haven't heard the story. So this will make a little more sense. Joseph Smith, when he was 14, this is the official story. There are 5 different narratives, but we're going to go with the official one. Joseph Smith was in this burned over district and there's just religion everywhere. And so he doesn't know what church to join and he's very confused about this. And so he says that he went out into a grove to pray, which is super interesting when you know some magical things later. But a fit of darkness came over him and he was saved basically by God the Father and the Son. They are separate people. They do not believe in the Trinity, as is the Holy Ghost. And so he is saved by this. And these literally God showed up to speak to him with his son, Jesus. And they said, don't join any of the churches. We're going to send you an angel. Maybe that's where the song came from. Send me an angel. No, okay. I'm kidding.
All right. I'm in.
Right. So the angel comes and his name is Moroni, not Moroni. Everybody says that. And I think it's funny. But Moroni, also, you have to understand that this is a magical family, which is why I gave those little excerpts before showing that they'll say it's folk magic. They'll cop to that much, but they're not going to tell you the absolute truth and they'll just put it there. So Moroni shows up and he is a dead person that is a dead Native American that used to be like a Native American brown person, but is now all white and delightsome. And yeah, it gets bad.
Sorry.
And oh no, laugh away. Yeah, we're going to get into some weird stuff. So he says, look, I'm going to show you where these plates are and you're going to write this book. Does this sound familiar? Because it sounds familiar to me. Like every religion, like anybody's ever done, like AWAS and Crowley and Parsons and, you know, the Scarlet Woman.
After. That's Islam as well. Like, you know, Muhammad had passed and his wife was like, I remember his teachings, and they wrote the Quran.
Yes. And what happened to him? He had a fit of darkness and he would fall down and then he would wake up and tell his, you know, they were non-written people, but he would tell his people that followed him around all these weird things that he saw in this dream. So much like this, you know, Joseph is not having a dream. Everybody says he's high on mushrooms. I mean, maybe, but I think more is going on here than meets the eye. That's an easy way to excuse things if you are not in a magical world. And we have to place ourselves back in time to this family and what they're doing. Did he summon this? And my take on it is yes, he did. And I'll show you why I think so.
He summoned an evil spirit, are you saying, or just a spirit?
I think he thought, much like Dr. John Dee, that this was a benevolent angel, you know, but as we know, you know, with Dr. John Dee, he says later, I mean, when the wife swapping starts happening, maybe this was a bad idea and they weren't so benevolent, right?
Eventually always gets the wife swapping.
It always does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to get divorced. And it is decreed that we shall switch.
Or polygamy. You could have more than one. That's usually, it's one of the two, right? It's always something. And so pretty much same situation. But he gets this vision, and for years, and Moroni's on top of every single temple. Usually they're trying to change that a little. So I won't say every single, on most.
Why would they be trying to change that?
Because they're trying to fit in more as regular Christians, as well as they are now. If you get on your phone and look for a church near you, and usually they're marked with a cross for non-Mormon churches, and then the Mormon churches are something else. Now, usually a Moroni statue. Now they tried to change them all to crosses, which Mormons hate crosses. So that makes no sense.
That's so interesting.
Why do they hate crosses? What's that about?
Oh, they hate them because they say they're a torture device. And, you know, if you wear a cross to a Mormon church, be prepared to be scowled at almost the entire time.
So what they're removing Moroni and replacing it with what then?
Crosses.
Nothing. Nothing on there, but on the app.
She said they hate crosses.
So
yes,
yeah, but that's what she's saying. So,
but not on top of the church.
There is something to that
in the
right?
app.
I mean, like, you know, it's an old Bill Hicks joke.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
About, you know, why are we wearing this cross when, you know, he died on it? That's like going up to Jackie Onassis with a little lapel of a shotgun,
rifle pendant.
a rifle pendant, and being like, you know, always thinking about him.
Just thinking of John, Jackie. Just thinking of John.
It's
well,
as a Catholic, it's so you're supposed to remember what he did for you. Like, so you look at it like, oh, that's what Jesus did for me. Like, remember his sins.
Well, there's also when it comes to, you know, is there a dark occult, you know, influence on Christianity, and the notion that we kind of got to die.
Yeah, the Cathars were the ones that originally came up with this idea that Bill Hicks is spouting, is that they hated the cross too because of the same situation. So, I mean, this is old. And, you know, we see this time and time again with different factions of religion. And in the Bible, it does say those who hate the cross, you know, they don't understand me. It's not the perfect translation, but you get what I'm saying. So it's foolishness is what it says.
Hold on. So it says that those who hate the cross or don't hate the cross?
Who hate the cross are foolish.
So we should like the cross.
I don't tell anybody what to do, but I for one, don't want a Moroni. Yeah, because I think he was a spirit, not, I mean, like, here's the thing. Angels are not people, and they've never lived here. And so, you know, he can't be an angel if he's a dead guy. It's an impossibility.
Makes no sense. Now, we have heard of angels taking other forms, though, right? Entertaining angels unawares, as they say.
Right. But when you're channeling them, I think it gets in a weirder place.
I agree. Wow. Especially a dead person, right? Wasn't that the idea?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he was a dead guy. And so, you know, for this, he prepared for years and years. And it doesn't say how. It just says, you know, he would show up and try to get them on this day of the year, every year for multiple years. It's not like he got these when he was 14. He was in his 20s by the time he got them. But in the midst of him trying to get these, a lot of things are going on at home. They're, you know, doing divining rods.
I'm so sorry, everybody. When you get these, what are you saying?
Plates.
The plates.
The golden plates that are hidden. Because Moroni's going to give them to him, but only once a year on the same day he tries. And he's so far fallen short. Once, I'm going to quote it. People will come for me. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It is in your religion that something like a toad turned into a man and then punched him in the face one time because he didn't do what he was told. He couldn't get the plates that time. I know. And I don't know what to tell people. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, he couldn't get him that day. So this happens time and time again, but only once a year on the fall equinox. Very interesting. Funny enough, 132 years before he actually does get the plates on the fall equinox is the same day Mary Eastie was hung, by his great-great-grandpa. And so, you know,
Whoa.
just saying. And they do say her ghost is alive and well and telling people she was innocent and hung for no reason. So we also know that the Inquisition was widely done by alchemists at that time. And so we know these people have money. They're select men. They're important in the community. Did she know something and have a little dirt on great grandpa? Maybe so, but she didn't get to tell it because her neck broke. So
Wow. So when you say select men, is that like just a public official or what?
yeah, it's like a mayor.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
And so this whole thing keeps going on. And so this year before he actually gets the plates, the angel makes him a deal and says, okay, you come back next year with your brother, Alvin. He's the oldest son. And I'll give him to you finally. Okay. So he says, all right, that's cool. Let's do that. So he has a problem. A couple months later, Alvin dies of an accidental drug overdose for constipation.
Oh.
Apparently.
Oh my God.
And so there's a problem there.
What?
And remember,
What?
How did he die again?
Homie was constipated, bro.
Yeah, I
He
said
got some
Yeah,
overdose?
well, he was taking drugs for constipation and he died.
How
the doctor
constipated do you have to
accidentally-
be?
What's
Oh, the doctor over. Okay.
Yeah.
I
he
thought,
gave him an overdose
much.
of constipation medicine and he died.
Shit
So
himself to
literally,
come on.
well, it probably wasn't
death? Diarrhea,
maybe,
right?
but
no? It was the drugs, idiot.
No, but I mean, if it's an overdose, what's the drug that he overdosed on? Probably something that was trying to make him go, right? Probably.
yeah. That's what I'm assuming.
yeah. I don't know if it worked
He
because then he would
dehydrated
have lived.
himself. Yeah, he got dehydrated.
People died of diarrhea all the time in the old days.
Yeah.
all the time.
Really?
They did,
Bro,
Yes.
the Civil War.
That's
left
what
and
dysentery
right.
is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Diarrhea
Oh,
themselves.
that's
to
what
death.
dysentery is. You got diarrhea.
Yeah, you can't
Diarrhea
keep the fluids
forever.
In. You got to keep fluids in.
Wow. I'm 0 days old when I learned that.
Dead.
I'm a nurse in my real job, so there you go.
Oh, no kidding.
I get to give some nursing stuff in there. I've been a nurse like 26 years this year. So.
Awesome.
Did you make some
that's
dancing TikToks during COVID?
No dancing. No, I was actually kicked out of work almost because I didn't do that.
Because you were smart.
I got in big trouble.
Oh, boy.
I was like, do you want to read about this JAMA study? And they were like, yeah, you need to shut up or not come to work.
Oh my
So-
God, dude.
It was interesting, but that's okay. I work in psych now and they're pretty good about stuff like that because they're like, nah, we need you. So it's fine. Bring us a note. I was like, I got the asthma.
I got the asthma.
Don't touch me with that.
Ain't
Yeah.
nobody got time for this.
And I never gave one either. I just said it was against my
Religion.
personal
I would
beliefs.
love to do that in California. They just won't let you. It's unbelievable. It's
My son wants
unbelievable.
to be a nurse and it scares me, not because of the nursing aspect, but because of all of the, things they're going to make him do.
Yes.
You
Isn't that
know.
crazy? Like when you walk into a medical office, a doctor's office, and all the staff is wearing masks, it really makes you question if they're authorities on anything.
Well, I mean, they definitely didn't read the mask studies, but I'm sure I'll get in trouble for that one too out here. But you
Not
should
on
read
this
it.
show, you won't. That,
Right.
You know,
The
but
JAMA studies are great. Yeah, they're real medical papers,
I
right?
went and watched Superman last night, and a black guy ahead of me had a full on like one of those super duper like M whatever they were called.
Oh my gosh.
N95
An N95.
N95 mask, and I was like,
In the movie theater.
as we were walking in.
Just don't go to the movies. Like,
Yeah,
come on. What are you doing?
Some movies you gotta see in the movie theater. You just got to because visually
Not
and
with
stuff.
a
No,
mask
they
like that.
they shouldn't. If you're that afraid, like,
don't
did he
leave your
remove it
house.
to eat
Stay
popcorn?
Yeah.
Because
I thought they banned masks. Didn't Trump say no mask during
Yeah,
riots?
again, that's
And
the
then
nonlinear warfare. Oh, you have to have masks now. You're not allowed to wear masks. Like they don't want you to know if you're coming or going.
he probably sold his shares. But no, I don't know.
All right, so we're back. The kid
You're good.
passed away from diarrhea, and
Yes.
he ODs on diarrhea drugs, and that's
And-
a weird story to tell in heaven when they're asking, "What happened to you?" Died in diarrhea.
Dysentery.
Yeah, dysentery. And he's like dysentery. Oh, they're like, oh, they're like, damn, dude. Okay.
They're like,
so
don't bring your problems here.
don't bring it to heaven. Better be
Not
done.
to heaven. Don't soil my cloud.
Don't soil my cloud.
It's a mess.
Dysteria
But-
goes over there.
That's what rain is, actually. It's rain from heaven.
Stop, Johnny.
Johnny.
That's the angels.
So angels have bladder problems. Oh
no.
So the kid is passed.
And he is the oldest son, and they're quite older. Like, he was really actually supporting the family. So this put a bad, a little clinch on the family because of this. So yeah, it was unfortunate. But also some weird stuff starts happening with this, and the family starts sleeping next to his grave. And I'm not kidding. And so this gets weird. And they even run an article in the newspaper in the Palmyra. I'm pretty sure I have that right here. Yes. So Palmyra, September 25th, 1824, it's ran that they basically, I'm gonna synopsis this of, look, we're going to dig him up because you said we dug him up, and we didn't dig him up because we wouldn't do that. But we're going to check on him because you guys said we did.
What the fuck?
Right.
Man, that's crazy.
So they dug him up. Yeah.
And he was there, right?
And yeah, he was dead. Yeah, a long time, like for a minute. And so I think this was pre-gaming, honestly. Like, I think they're like, okay, if we dig him up because, the angel said to bring him, but he's dead. But maybe, there's jokes about Alvin having a hand in Mormonism. I don't know. But we get into, some weirdness. And so they dig him up, and then they put him back, and then they sleep by his grave for like weeks. And remember, these are treasure diggers by trade. And it also makes you wonder with some other crazy stories they have of their family that were persecuted for grave robbing.
Hold on. In this family, there is people who've been persecuted for grave robbing.
There is, but they will say they're not, because they will tell you that this guy, and this is the flex. We're going to go back to the mother and her flex, and it's quite interesting, and it has to do with the university at Dartmouth. And so there is a doctor that Lucy Mack Smith, I'll put her picture back up while we're chatting. There's a doctor she calls being very poor, and she just happens to have, this line straight to these people in Harvard. Okay. So I thought that was strange. But
look at how she's dressed right now. Sorry about this. Look at how she's dressed right now compared to women today.
Yeah, and you still would.
I mean, it could, yeah, of course. But I mean, like, look at that, dude. Look at that, and look at now. It's like
You love it, huh?
Yeah, it's a hajib, right?
No,
it basically is.
It couldn't be more different. It couldn't be 180.
Yeah, she looks like she's in a sack or something. It's crazy.
Okay, Johnny.
Like she's all tied up under the chin. Look at that. You can't see any skin except her face.
Well, do you know why they used to wear head coverings? Do you guys know this little weirdness? Because they didn't want the angels to come down and want them. And so not just Mormons, like
Oh, then
people.
the angels must be having a field day today because it's everywhere. And Johnny's still going back to our last conversation, which is totally fine. I'm okay with that. But it's like, I mean, dude, watch these YouTube videos and what's being said today in pop culture. It's like it is a race to the bottom.
I will say your algo is different than mine. I've noticed that, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
agree.
race to the
As
bottom.
a woman, I think you can tastefully dress. You can do whatever you want, but as for me, you can tastefully dress in a nice manner and still look sexy.
But it's like Andrew Tate said, and I know people have a problem with him, but I think he kind of nailed it. It's like, this is what women have chosen, and this is their path, and because nobody understands what their life is going to be like in 10 years or 15 years. And the decisions you make and the doors you close down the line.
Yes.
And it's
no,
like
you don't want that on video forever. And that's just no.
Well, it's also that, like, I think people just choose misery. Like, it's going to be like, you're going to get divorced, you're going to be single, you're going to do this, you're going to die broke, you're going to die alone. You're gonna, like this almost fatalism that this country seems to be just enamored with.
It's the instant gratification you talk about. We always choose it, if left to our own devices.
Yeah, I completely agree. Okay, go back. Sorry.
No, you're good. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. The reason why I called my podcast Unfiltered Rise is I told you my brother passed away, and we've had he passed away from an accidental overdose.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
and it's okay. I don't tell this for sympathy, because here's what I feel is that unfiltered is a warning, because I'm not gonna, filter people in general. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna edit out like 30,000 ums in a show, but like
Wow.
other than that, because I got called out on that.
Well,
but
this guy has to deal with F words over here, so he understands.
yeah, and I occasionally say them. And so, here's the thing: that's your warning, and then rise above your situation, because like
I
my
totally
story
agree.
of life, and it isn't fair for everyone, but I don't say it's for sympathy. Like, I could have quit a long time ago. Like, I've broken my back. I've had a horrible back surgery that failed. I've had cancer already. All these accidental deaths and the shunning of my family, and one daughter that won't talk to me because her husband is very important. Please ask him. Anyway,
Man,
Whoa.
I'm sorry to laugh at that, but I mean, that was a nice
no, that's
cut.
why I said it.
That was a nice cut.
Yeah, he's a
I
pilot.
think about that
so.
all the time, man. I mean, I love my kids and they're constantly hugging me, but will there come a time where it's like, I love him more than you? I'm like, oh, that can't be easy.
7 years it's going on. And she was my closest kid. Like, as far as, I grew up with her. I was 20 when I had her. So, she's had a child, she's gotten married. I'm not a part of any of that. And here's the thing: you choose what you do with your grief. Like, my brother died of an accidental overdose. So what did I do? I changed my career, and now I work with people that have overdose, people that have problems with addiction. Like, I'm there for it because I missed it for him. I can't change that, but I can help others.
Yeah.
So you can do that. You can change things for not just yourself, for a lot of people. You can help others. And that is one thing that I do think the LDS Church really does do for most of their people, unless you're apostate like me, and then I'm going to outer darkness, but that's okay. Because I'm not, because I'm saved. So, but that's fine. And that's why I do this, because I want to expose the things that they hide, not because I want to harm them.
No, I get
And then
that.
people can choose,
Yeah, it's hard, man. I was on Tim Pool yesterday, and we were basically just talking about, in psychology, something I thought I came up with, but apparently psychologists have been talking about forever, is programming versus reality. And when those two things crash, people get physically hurt. It physically hurts them, and they lash out and they act in weird ways. And, it's the Agent Smith effect as well. Like, this notion when you're presented with data that doesn't fit your narrative, this Agent Smith comes in you and you kind of want to battle Neo. And that's kind of what we see. I mean, it sucks that you haven't talked to that makes me sad. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No. It doesn't make me sad. It makes me empowered to help others. And I think we should. I think you only rise above a certain level of energy if you do that. And I'm a Christian saying that, but also like occultists have said that, like Steiner said that, like other people understand this too. And it should be, just across the board. We need to get back to that a little bit. And I will say that the LDS Church does that for their active good members.
As
So
we
just
get
don't
back
leave.
to your presentation, I just want to ask you, a big thing we discuss on this show a lot is the mysticism of within religion, and this kind of denial of that. What are your thoughts on that? Like, is there mysticism? Are these two things?
For sure.
Are they two totally separate things? And you're either on one side or the other.
I think that what they've done with religion is separate them. Absolutely. In the LDS faith, 110%, when they became a corporation and now are like a piece of the government and CIA agents, basically, other than the normal people, right? We're talking about the upper echelon here. They did that on purpose with the reformation of the church. And we'll talk about that too under Brigham. But this was a very magical church. I'm not necessarily saying you can't do magic. It comes with a lot of problems. Like, if you're brave, hey, whatever, magic it up. But it's for me, no. But, I think at least you should have the knowledge to choose, because if you're going to go be a Mason, let's say, that you're going to be doing some things, even if you don't know what they are, right? Yeah. it's out there. You kind of know. But with the Mormon church, they don't tell you anything. And then you are a Mason. And I didn't even know what one was until I was like 40 and I was wearing Masonic underwear. Like,
is that your magic underwear?
My magical underwear.
What makes it so magical?
I'll show you when I actually have a picture of them today. So yeah.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and Masonic, how is it Masonic? Was there like symbols, or was it just?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. And Joseph Smith, to that point, was a master Mason, and so he was actually risen to a master Mason in one day. That's not normal. And that means he knew some things, and I know he did. He was no dumb farmer. This is ridiculous. Do I think they were witches? Yeah, I do. And that's a heavy term, but I'm sorry, they were practicing, or you can say they were practicing magic. And I don't think it was folk magic. And I'll show you guys why, because there's proof. So it gets into the weeds. I know they don't do that anymore, but they still have their ceremonies. And I'll show you one, at least, a recreation of a little piece of one today. And you can tell me what you guys think.
Hey guys, I want to tell you about our new sponsor, Quince. Listen, why drop a fortune on basics when you don't have to? Quince has the good stuff, high quality fabrics, classic fits, and lightweight layers for warm weather. Okay. All at a price that makes sense. Everything I've ordered from Quince has been nothing but solid. I'll go beyond solid. Spectacular. I love their shirts.
Quince has closet staples you'll want to reach for over and over. They've got cozy cashmere and cotton sweaters from just $50. Wow. Breathable flow knit polos and comfortable lightweight pants that somehow work for both weekend hangs and dressed up dinners. The best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury pieces without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Cool.
I love their shirts. I mean, I have a couple of them. I love their jackets, their pants. I mean, it's just quality stuff, dude.
I have a chore jacket, dude. Very high quality. I love it.
You look great in it, Johnny.
Thank you. I get that a lot.
So keep it classic and cool with long-lasting staples from Quince. Go to quince.com/tinfoil hat for free shipping on your order and 365 days return. That's QUINCE.com/tinfoil hat to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/tinfoil hat. And we thank them for sponsoring this show. Go for it.
Mother Smith, like I said, she's putting the flex, and everybody's like waiting for Joseph to get these plates. He's told his family about it. We got the questionable, did they take a bone from his brother? I mean, I don't know. I do know some repercussions happen at a later point for him, and it's interesting, and we'll get over that. And I think we're about to that point right now. So the story of him actually receiving the golden plates is kind of a dark one. And I'm going to pull up this picture right here. And this is a representation of what really is going on in the church. I'll never forget when I seen at that time, when I seen the South Park episode in Mormonism, and I was young, I was still in the church, and the church knew about it and they were freaking out. And I was like, this is a lie. This is the biggest lie I've ever heard. This is stupid, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, great. Later you find out, not so stupid. And so on the day he receives the plates, finally, after years of preparation, which makes sense if this is his HGA, right? Like a holy guardian angel, which is also in magic. But if that is the case, whichever case it may be, he had to wait until he was purified during these times. He had to do all these special things and make sure he was prepared to talk to the angel. But also his neighbor, Willard Chase, gave an account because Joseph gets in trouble. He has to go to court. And there's actually a court document here showing exactly what happened to him. And he gets arrested for treasure digging. And so we know absolutely that they were treasure digging, and he sucked at it. He's glass looking, and $2.68 fine. And in this trial, there was a whole bunch of people that had to come and give a testimony. Now, people will just say Willard Chase is lying because he hated him. Okay, fine, whatever. I doubt it, because eventually their families are going to be linked together through another person, and I'll explain. But at this point, this is Willard Chase's affidavit. And I'm sorry, but like when you're talking about affidavits at this time in magic, I don't know that you would want to volunteer anything magical weirdo like that, because they're hanging people, you know?
Yep.
So he goes on the record saying that Joseph Smith told him he had to borrow their all black horse. And again, borrowing the horse, like, why would you borrow the horse from somebody that you hated and hated you? That doesn't make any sense. And on the fall equinox, okay, he has to go out dressed in all black and go talk to this angel. And that's exactly what he does. And so I find it strange that they'll say, oh, that's not true, they're just lying. Okay, it's an affidavit in court. Does that mean you can't lie? No, but it gives it a little bit more validity. And so he's explaining, you know, he had to do this all in black, middle of the night. He shows up, apparently gets these golden plates finally, and he's newly married at this time. And so instead of Alvin, who is dead, he takes his wife. She waits in the cart. And about not quite 9 months later, a little bit like more than that, they have a baby. And their baby's extremely disfigured and only lives moments. And they name it Alvin, the dead brother. So now we have a curious situation for anybody clued into like Faustian bargains or whatnot. We have the dad who lost his oldest son, and now Joseph, who has lost his oldest son. Do I think they made a deal? I mean, stranger things have happened, right? So he gets these plates, and all my life I've been told they were translated very studiously and by something called...
Is that the same time where they mentioned that there was this white salamander or something like that? Is that the same story you're talking about? I don't know if you ever heard about that.
The white salamander story is a lie. So the thing is people will just say that. They'll say, oh, that's a lie. You know, it was proven that this guy did this, Mark Hoffman, and he's in prison still. And the problem with that is he did a very interesting thing. I honestly think they pre-gamed it, whether he's guilty or not. I think it started with pre-gaming this. Is he was a forger, and he was a very good forger. And he even forged documents like for the government and all kinds of different things. And I'm not saying he's not a forger, but the salamander was not a salamander. It was a toad, and something like a toad came out and turned into a man and punched him. That is the story. But if you know anything about the occult, it's far better to have a salamander than a toad, because a toad is a witch's familiar. And when you know about these things, there's also like stories about the spirit Baal, and that he's turned up in other stories, including on the confessionals, where they said there's been links to Baal worship where first things turn from a toad into a man. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know this story. And so this is old magic, and it's interesting. Can I prove any of that? I mean, no, it's magical. But now anytime you bring up that story, people will say you're wrong. It was a salamander. Well, salamanders are a good sign. You know, they're a sign for the Templars. They're not forged by the fire. They're not burned. Like, this is actually a benevolent sign, whereas a toad is like a yucky witch's familiar. So I kind of feel like they changed it because they ran with it. They didn't even wait. They just threw it in all of their ensigns, which is the publication for the church magazine. They threw it up everywhere. Like, they didn't have to do that, but they did. So I found that very interesting, and it did change the way that story goes. Because now if you ask anyone, like, hey, do you remember when a toad punched Joseph Smith? They'll just laugh and say, that was just Mark Hoffman, and he's in prison now.
So crazy. So crazy. So he's all in black. He's on a black horse. And what happened? And what happens next?
He supposedly gets the plates, and he takes them, and they take quite some time to translate. And I'll tell you how they translate them. You know, my whole life, I was told one particular story, and that was this. Okay. They had a partition. Many scribes helped, including Martin Harris, who helped fund, but his wife helped. There were others too. Sidney Rigdon, a bunch of people, but these big plates that Joseph has, he has this breastplate of righteousness, Urim and Thummim, very much like also Jewish, they have a breastplate of righteousness with the gems on it and everything.
Whoa.
And and these big spectacles that they said were so big, one of them could fit his whole face.
Wow.
But he said it hurt his eyes. And so, the new narrative slowly came out. Well, kind of slowly. I don't know if it was slow. And this is truly how they were actually done, by blocking out all the light, putting his head in the hat, much like Nostradamus did with water, and much like John Dee did with, Edward Kelly did it and John Dee transcribed. But either way, and he calls out these symbols, not a word, a symbol, and they write down the symbol, and then later Joseph goes and translates it. And he says that they're like an angelic language, Reformed Egyptian. And there is a little sample of that language. And it's very interesting when you compare it to other things, much like Enochian. Yeah, it gets weird. And so,
we're past
we
weird.
we know that the prophet has always denied this, but this is the current prophet, Russell M. Nelson. He is, and I'm going to give you the actual definition of the prophet in the LDS Church, which is prophet, seer, and revelator of the church. And they believe that this guy talks to God all the time, like just like, hey, what's up? Like he talks to him all the time. But he busts this hat out of cold storage, because we do have multiple tunnels all the way underneath Salt Lake City, but we also have like vaults, and there's all these weird tunnels underneath the temple, and they're guarded by the Mormon CIA. And no, I'm not kidding, like with guns. And so he busts it out of the vault and does this photo op. And I'm going, even as an ex-Mormon, I almost dropped my tea. I was like, what is he doing with the hat that's not supposed to exist? Like, they told us this was a lie, that he did it the other way with this breastplate of righteousness and blah, blah, blah. Right. And so I was like, wait, what's happening here? That doesn't seem right. And so, yeah, he did it anyway. He didn't care. But that particular prophet is 100 years old right now. He is a Skull and Bones member, and he is a Skull and Bones member for the University of Utah. Did you know they had their own branch?
No, I didn't know that.
So in 1909, they formed their own branch of Skull and Bones. Here, I'll go back to that Skull and Bones photo, and that's a real photo. They were formed by an anonymous alumni, and they came out and formed the Skull and Bones Society of the University of Utah. It's the only other one, and I've talked to Mark about this. And he's aware of them, but of course they say they're not related. Well, they kind of are, because here's the thing. The two people that formed Skull and Bones, right? We know one's named Taft, right? Well, there's a Taft that's pretty prominent in the LDS Church as well. He actually was a prophet, seer, and revelator, Ezra Taft Benson. And then, Huntington is also a really important name in Mormonism. It's a very old name of Mormonism. So there's a lot of people that have linked these names through descendants of Simon Huntington, 1633, of the Taft family, to Ezra Taft Benson. Can I prove it? Only with genealogy stuff, but I'm definitely working on it. So they do have not scroll and key. They have owl, like the animal owl and key. And it's very interesting that they basically admitted the prophet was in it. He actually admitted it in his own biography. So
That
he's
the
a
prophet
surgeon.
was in Skull and Bones.
The one at University of Utah, yes. And Alan Key.
Okay.
And Phi Beta or Sigma Chi. Mm-hmm.
That's so
But
crazy.
when-
Imagine if you were in a fraternity with Jesus. Right? You're like,
Yeah.
I know Jesus way back in the day. This is my pledge class. He wasn't doing
And
any of this stuff.
You guys hazed them.
It's set up
Imagine
strictly.
hazing Jesus.
We would run out of beer, and he would just come up with it out of nowhere. It was crazy.
He hated doing it, but we told him it's the only way we'll join the fraternity.
Yeah, you can only come if you make the wine or beer, whichever, right? But the weird thing is that they actually had this sanctioned. I mean, these members that came out were alumni of the original Yale Skull and Bones, and there is another tie to the Smiths there as well. So, and I can probably just get into that now because it's interesting. So the flex that Lucy Smith put on old Brigham was this. When Joseph was young, he got something called typhoid fever. He got really, really sick, and it went in his leg, and he got osteomyelitis of his leg. And so that was very unfortunate. And back then, they just lopped everything off, and a one-legged farmer isn't going to do too well. That's just rough. So I think I had a picture of it, but maybe I don't. So she called some help from Dr. Nathan Smith, and he was out at Dartmouth College with also the very first professor of Dartmouth. And this is Moores College. This is a branch off. Let me make sure people know that. Moores College was set up to make basically priests or missionaries for the Native Americans. They call it Moores Indian School. Well, Dr. Nathan Smith, she refers to him in her writings and journals as Dr. Nathan. And she never says anything about Smith, but I don't think you'd forget your own last name. Like, that seems a little meh. And so she puts that out there. And the interesting thing is, like I said, Dr. Nathan Smith was chased out of his town for digging people up and actually prosecuted. And people can look this up. He was cousins with both Joseph Smith's mother and father on both sides, distant cousin for sure, but it was connected. And so she knew this, and she knew he was known as the grave digger. She knew he was ran out of town. And also he ends up at Yale, and he founded their medical school. He is the founder of Yale Medical School.
A Smith?
Dr. Nathan Smith.
So the guy who founded Yale is also connected to the Mormon Church?
The medical school part. Mm-hmm.
Grave digger.
Wow.
And also the very first professor of Moores College, Moores Indian School, which is inside of Dartmouth itself, where Joseph Smith's brother went to school, Hiram. And all of these people are going to school there. Professor Johnny Smith is their distant cousin. He's also the rare book stealer in town. He has a lot of really weird old books like the Scotichronicon and all kinds of fun books. But Professor Johnny Smith, distant cousin, is teaching theology there. And he's also a professor of languages. And what was Joseph Smith studying? Like Hebrew and stuff. So no, they weren't dumb farmers. Hiram would have finished his education if it weren't for Dr. Smith digging people up, because it ruined everything, and then they ran him out of town. So he was a year away from it.
Crazy, dude.
And the
so
mother's
crazy.
Nephew did graduate from that program, and he's a Mac. So,
and this also gets into like how many of these masters of mankind, these giant names in pop culture, society, always have some shady background before they become huge. I mean, even Snoop Dogg was on trial for murder and got off when they had him dead to rights. And here we are, this guy's a gravedigger, and then his family founds medical school at Yale and Mormonism. That's crazy to me.
And for anybody that wants to check my facts, you can check out the book, The Lucy Code. And you guys can look and see for yourself. And just so everybody knows, like, I even have the cousins that they were related through, which I'll find. But there's another connection as well. So not only was Hiram Smith going to this school, Moores Indian College, inside of Dartmouth, they're living on campus. Okay. They're living at the trustee's house. And so Joseph Smith and his whole family is living there. And I mean, so they definitely know them. And these people that were the diggers, remember I said they were grave diggers? Guess what they were called?
What?
Resurrectionists.
Oh.
And that's going to be important. Put it in your back pocket for when we get to baptizing the dead.
But you look at the Prophet Muhammad, he's connected to the royal family. The first royal of Saudi Arabia, a British spy. The Shah and the guy they want to replace the leader of Iran right now with they're both British royalty.
There's some royalty going to come up here too.
Oh, that's
way
crazy.
So, yep. This gets interesting. And not only royalty, but people are going to want to look at the Society of Cincinnati. JJ Vance has showed me a whole bunch about that. He's really good at like explaining it, but he does all the connections to the Society of Cincinnati, which is the secret society that every single president we've had has belonged to. So,
wow.
Yeah, it gets weird. And it's also passed down. And not only have the presidents been, but some of the wives as well, like Jackie. So Blackjack Bouvier was a member of the Society of Cincinnati. These families don't end up together on accident. This isn't some love story. Like, no.
This is crazy.
So this is, you remember how I told you how Willard Chase spoke in his affidavit about, dressing all in black. He also spoke about one other time when he went treasure digging with the Smiths. And this is the diagram of what happened when he did. And the only part they left out is they did slaughter their fattest black sheep and bleed it all over the circle as well.
As one
they
does.
Didn't find.
As you do.
Yeah, as one does, for sure. So these sigils are important when we're going to get to what kind of magic they are practicing and the reason why it's even important. But it definitely is, because we've got all these connections to these people, and we've got, a magic cat. We've got a seer stone. This seer stone, they say, is the most important one. I doubt it, because there's a ton of pictures of this one. They've admitted it now. Apparently you stole it from Willard Chase as well, which is a funny joke, is that Mormonism is built upon a stolen rock, but whatever. He found a white one as well, and there's only ever been an author's rendition of it. This green one, however, is interesting. For those that might not believe the Nathan Smith story that I said, the doctor that saved his leg, Dr. Nathan Smith, who saw Joseph over 22 times to heal the osteomyelitis and chip away at the bone. He saw him a lot. And that was actually his mom's idea, because she was a lay midwife and she was a healer. But this rock was owned by the neighbor, Willard Chase's sister, Sally Chase. Well, Sally Chase saw that little doctor over there and they got married. So this gets even better.
Oh, so the guy that accuses him of stealing here, her sister marries his doctor.
But apparently Willard hates him, but they're family now. So distant, of course, but they are family.
So interesting, dude.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It's all connected. All connected. This is the white one that they won't let out of the vault. They just draw pictures of it. This is the toad story. And then we get into the parchments, which is, I think, the most important part of this presentation. The Smith family magical relics, and D. Michael Quinn's book, he exposes a lot of this. He actually got excommunicated for it. People say, no, he didn't, because he got gay. That too.
Because he caught the gays.
He got the gay. Yeah. But also he exposed the church, and he was supposed to do a job for the church and help them. And then it didn't go well because that book didn't go over so great. I often wonder if that was revelation of the method, but whatever.
It's been going
Maybe
around.
They knew.
Gay.
Yeah.
Gays have been going around.
It's been going around.
It's contagious.
Contagious.
Wear a mask. Stay inside.
Yeah. Where you wear the mask? That's the question.
The Jupiter talisman is the one thing, the one relic they cannot dispute, because they're going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll tell you what, like, about the rest of these relics. But this Jupiter talisman is actually identified as Joseph's, even though, like, by his birth chart and everything, we would already know that. But just in case, people can see that she went and identified it and said it was most prized possession, and she wanted it back because he died. So she got it back, and it ended up in a museum, and people can go look at that. But this right here, if you look at this one, this is really important. This is going to lead us a place. And that's what happened to me, is it led me here. And then I was like, this is no folk magic, because this is the third pentacle of Jupiter in the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon. So when we talk about the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon, if you're familiar with the story about how, his ring controls demons and all the 72 demons in the Goetia, you familiar with all that fun stuff?
Yeah. Isn't that where he interviewed all the demons on what they hated, what they didn't hate? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yep, got all their names and put them in a book, and then the book got published. And so that's pretty much how the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon came to be. But everybody will say, look, he just carried this, talisman around because people were cursing him and he needed to protect himself. That's not what it says. So it says, this defendeth and protecteth those who invoke and cause the spirits to come. And when they appear, show this unto them, and they will obey. Oh, well, that changes it.
Damn.
Right. Yeah, there's no mixing words there. This is what it is. And when we get into...
And it's Hebrew. Yeah, it's Hebrew, right?
Mm-hmm, it is. And there's other pictures that are up close with like full descriptions too that I'm going to show you. But this isn't a tame. For anybody that does magic, you know what that is. For those that don't, this is a ceremonial dagger. And this also has seals and sigils upon it. And I'll show you what they are. So one side shows the seal of Mars, and the other side shows Adonai, Scorpio, and the intelligence of Mars. Now, just because we see the Tetragrammaton or names of Jehovah or Adonai or all that, it doesn't necessarily always mean it's Christian. Was it? I don't know what his intentions were, but he's definitely summoning things, and I think that's a bad plan. But a lot of times they'll chuck every name of God at this stuff to try and like just cover all their bases. So,
whoa.
Yeah, it's going to get weirder. So this is the Smith family dagger, and it's a ceremonial dagger. So it has a prayer upon it. So when they slaughter, if they do use it, a lot of times it's just ceremonial, but it has been said that they did use it for a couple of the treasure digging things that they did. So it's a prayer upon it. Then they don't have to stop, I guess, and say anything. And all of these things are interesting because remember, they're only supposed to like have the Bible, and he has no way to learn anything occultic, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, these symbols I'm showing you either come from the Magus, okay, or Sibley's Book of Witchcraft. There's only a few places it can come from at that time. So, I mean, I'm not saying he did, but also remember his cousin is the rare book stealer. I mean, makes sense. But they'll say it doesn't make sense and that I'm full of it. They also talk about his Masonic background, and I know he was a Mason, but I don't think it was the Scottish Rite. So Paranoid American and I have talked about this and about the time frames that fit together or not in this. And he doesn't think that it would be very new, okay, newly organized, the Scottish Rite, when Joseph is coming up. But something older than that is organized at this time, and that is Martinists. And if you don't know what Martinism is, whoa, that went fast. Martinism is a magical order. And the Martinist order is one that actually is a practicing magical order. And funny enough, they invoke spirits to come in spring and in fall on the equinox. Well, that sounds like Moroni. And they're one of the few orders that are actually practicing and not just talking about or learning about magic.
Are they still around?
Yeah, Ike Baker's one. He says he is.
And now, is that above Freemasonry?
It's just a little bit different because they actually practice. They talk to angels and invoke spirits and different things. But
wow.
I'm no expert on it. I've done a show on this on the Martinist order. I could do 30 more shows and never be to the end of that tunnel.
What is your thoughts on the Star of David? Do you think it's Brem fan?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. And you'll see that a lot with the Mormonism stuff too. You're going to see it here in about 1 second when I show you these sigils. So these are the sigils that were found on the body or in the cell when they died at Carthage together, the brother, Joseph and Hiram. They are going to tell you that these are Hiram's. They're going to say it makes much more sense. He had the education, blah, 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 blah. The problem is astrologically, when you break these down, it doesn't work. It doesn't fit with his birthday. It doesn't fit with like everything that you do in magic fits with everything else. Like it has to be. And so anybody that does Kabbalah or anything like this, they know that. And so when we look at this is specific, not this particular one, but the others to Joseph. So well, either way, the family's into some things. And
Yeah.
this isn't just considered folk magic. We're talking about Solomonic magic. And Solomonic magic practitioners, even today, it's one of the few magical orders that people mess with unless you really know what you're doing. And so can be really dangerous.
Yeah.
So they say.
That's
I don't
so
want to talk to
crazy.
anything else. That isn't here with
That's
me.
really crazy
I'm
shit.
good. I didn't try. But if you see how this spirals in, how it spirals into that?
Yes.
This is charging the sigil because it's bringing the energy from above down into the sigil. And they hate when we do this to them, and they meaning angels or demons or whatever they're calling at that point, because it's forcing. It's a forceful situation. Whereas this is Jubanlades, this one is open, which means there's a working relationship with this spirit and the person that wrote this parchment. So, Knights Templar cross, we're going to get into Merovingian bloodlines, we're going to get into a bunch of stuff, but all of this is really important. Like, wow, I wished it would quit doing that. I don't know why. Okay, I guess we're going to go through the whole thing. Here we go. Wow. I don't know. And when we talk about all these different things, they are messing with stuff that is definitely magical in nature and for a reason. And these are the symbols that are on the second parchment, which is the Holiness to the Lord parchment. And that particular parchment is on the Holiness to the Lord statement is on every single Mormon temple. And so is the Big Dipper. There are pentacles and pentagrams that are inverted that I can show you on some of the older temples, Masonic hand grips, beehives. I mean, Utah's the beehive state. Yeah. So this is Raphael. These are multiple. I mean, this is a whole mess of things. The breakdowns here at the bottom, but all of this comes from specifically witchcraft books, Magus, Officium Spiritum. I mean, there's just no other way to say it. I mean, it is what it is. So he's studying something, that's for sure.
This gets into everything Adam Green talks about. Like, how deep do you go? Do you find you find like Hebrew?
Yes. Yep. And he was studying with a Jewish person, and they had converted. And yes, there's a lot of Kabbalistic things. Also, the temple ceremony, which we're going to get into here in a minute. If you put into Grok, what is the closest thing to the temple ceremony for the Mormon church, it will tell you Babylonian temple ceremony. So there's that.
Wow. Wow.
So people can try that one. It's fun. I did.
Wow.
So I want to tell people, like, when you look at the changes of the church, because they're going to change rapidly, like at a later point, and all magic will be taken away from this church. But when you talk Mormon money magic, it gets real interesting. So, there's a Mormon behind almost every really famous rich person, like Howard Hughes, or how about we do Elon Musk? Do you know Elon Musk's number one money man?
Who?
Jared Birchall. And he's a Mormon. He doesn't have the qualifications to have that job. Nevertheless, he has it. And they met at the Boring Company digging tunnels. So
what's super interesting is during the Q craze, right? And again, Operation Trust, they're going to tell you what's going on because they're trying to pacify you. They're like, hey, dude, this is what's going on. Just trust us. We're going to clean it up, right? There was a lot of talk about Trump going to the Mormon courts to get a lot of things done because they worked outside the system. That was a big discussion. He was going to go elicit the Mormons.
I wasn't going to go here, but I know you because I've heard you talk about the Federal Reserve before and go crazy. So I thought I would bring this. So I have to tell you about this guy. And I just found this today. So this is my one deep dive on it. It's going to have a lot more coming, but that doesn't surprise me knowing this. So there is a man called William Godby, and he came from England, and he was considered a Robert Owen Mormon, who was the modern day communism guy that trained Karl Marx. Okay. And so
coincidence.
Right. Robert Owen is that man, and William Godby becomes lives here in Utah and comes over, and he's a Mormon now too. He was a convert, but Godby wanted to change the way Mormonism was, because they used to be, and the polygamous sects still are, very separated from the world. They always say, be in the world, not of it. Make your own food, do your own thing. Don't purchase things from them. Like bleed the beast. Like that's a real saying. Like you want to go bleed the beast of the system. So if you have 15 wives, you got one that's really married to you. So go collect, assistance for the other 14 wives and say you're single moms, and get a whole bunch of money.
Whoa.
Whoa.
They don't pay taxes. Yeah. So, and I know a lot of this stuff about the polygamy sect, at least for the Warren Jeffs cult. You know who Warren Jeffs is?
Yeah,
the pedophile. So my sister married his nephew.
Oh.
And weird shit happens when you're in Utah. I'll say that much. But
weird shit happens everywhere.
Right.
That's the problem. We label it weird when it's a lot more normal, not meaning it's a lot more prevalent,
right?
Than people want to believe.
Oh yeah. And he talked about
people.
I'm sorry, you cut out.
We just demonize it because we want to control people.
Well, they also want to hide things. And if you demonize it and then pretend like you hate it, kind of like the guy that hung the witch, right? The great-great-grandpa.
Yeah. He's 100. Or this guy right now that was like telling everybody we're going to put Bibles in every single school. And then it finds out he's got a bunch of naked chicks on his computer, which I don't really give a shit about. But it's like it's like, again, going back to the Thomas Sowell quote, which I'm paraphrasing, but it's like in a world in the society that demands perfection, only liars can thrive. Absolutely. That's just the truth. We just keep wanting heroes.
Yeah, it's just not okay to put a man, right, like as an idol, because it's always going to fail you. And when I say man, I mean like interchangeable with a woman. It doesn't matter.
They have free will, and they're fallible.
Well, why did Jesus get killed anyways? Because he wasn't good enough, because they wanted a king. That's what they wanted. They didn't want that. They didn't want a savior. They want a king.
Oh, that's a great point.
It's sad, and we see this time and time again with every religion, whether it starts from benevolence or not, eventually it gets corrupt, which is why I don't belong to a religion anymore. I just believe in God. And
that's a big thing I'm into as well. It's just like, I respect everybody's religion. I want them to, as we do a couple shows on how weird they are, but I do respect people's religions. I just say that, like, everything is yes. There a hidden hand? And the answer is yes. There's always a hidden hand. And like, you can't ignore the hidden hand because it's corrupting everything.
Well, and the sad part is this isn't even about their religion anymore, because they took it all away. And like, if they came out tomorrow and they're like, you know what, we're a Harry Potter order with like wands and stuff, and we do this, I'd be like, hey, cool, I'll shut up now, because you're lying to everyone, and we are doing things to charge the house. Remember what I said about that sigil?
Yeah.
We're going to get into that when I show you why they do these temple ceremonies, and people don't know why they do them. They just do them because they're going to go to heaven. But what does that have to do with a Masonic handshake and a bunch of dead people? Well, I don't know, but like, here it is. And so, we don't ask those questions. And especially if you're born into it, because you know that your grandma did it, and you know that your grandma's and you just do that. And so, and I feel bad, because what they do is they say, we don't have secrets. A bunch of people are going to comment on the stuff I'm going to show you, and they're going to say, it's sacred. It's not secret. And then they'll say, you know what, Sam, you can go through a temple right now. You can go through one that hasn't been dedicated yet. You can, but they're not going to be doing ceremonies at that time. Like, get real. Like, you guys are still hiding stuff, and you're changing it all the time. And here's the thing. The polygamists refuse. They refuse to change anything. And yet the LDS, the mainstream, change it all the time.
Let
Like
me
my
ask you
great grandma,
something
when
about-
she went through, she was scrubbed naked in a bathtub with oil. And I'm going to show you the point where that happened with me, but just touching with a poncho. And I'm just like, okay, if this is really from God, because you're saying these are actual sacred rights from God and you're changing them, well, maybe you have some answering to do anyway.
The polygamous aspect. What are the women of Utah? What do they think about that?
Well, most of us are mainstream now and they don't agree with it, but there is a lot of sections of Mormonism, like of course with Warren Jeffs, because they look like Little House on the Prairie. Like you're gonna see them at Maverick with their big 15 passenger vans and 20 women get out with the coolest braids you've ever seen because they don't ever cut their hair, because back to Templar and stuff like that, they're gonna wash Jesus's feet one day with their hair. And so if you got short hair polygamous, she did something bad. But I'm saying there's a lot of other ones, like the Kingstons, like Kingston. They look normal and they just wear long sleeve shirts, okay, and long sleeve pants, but they look pretty normal. No makeup, but still long hair. I've seen a few with short, even with the Kingstons, and they're one of the rare sects of Mormonism polygamy that still do well. They think they're keeping their bloodlines pure, so they have babies with their nieces and stuff. And it got to be such a problem that they hired a geneticist because they're mad rich, right? They're super rich, and they give money to I'm not going to say his name, but I was going to, from Mexico,
Trump?
Mormons that might have ran for presidential campaigns once, and they give people money that are like that, and so people leave them alone and they don't prosecute them, even though it's illegal to marry underage people and your cousin. Is
that family connected to that one family that the cartel killed in a couple years ago? I don't know if you remember this Mormon family.
I remember. I've got notes on this just in case this came up today. You better believe it. They settled Chihuahua, Mexico. You better believe it. His great grandpa did. You guys gotta these people out here, not you guys.
Mormonism settled in Mexico, and then the Americans just moved the border. They're like, nah.
And they were too lazy to move. They're like, we're staying here.
Well, because they're like, oh, dude, we set up shop. We were in Mexico. We were crushing it. Now we're in the United States.
You might know. I should maybe know. Is Mexico, are you allowed to have more than one wife, even if it's religious? Or is that anti?
I'm sure there's places.
Here's the thing. They settled. So the particular family that we're discussing, and I think we all know who we're discussing, right? He once ran for the president of the United States.
I'm just going to say his name. Why can't we say Mitt Romney, right?
Yeah, I just didn't want to get thrown off. So yes, that is the Romney family. And the Romney family helped settle parts of Chihuahua due to the 1880s polygamy ban. And so their dad was like, nah, bro, I'm not giving up my wives. And so there's also other families that went out there and settled, and they actually formed a complete issue with each other. They're warring factions of these people, right? And then you get into the LeBarons, and he is called the Charles Manson of Mormonism because he's so crazy that, yes, they will just open fire on each other, and he even killed his own brother. So
Hatfield and McCoys, dude. That's what this
is. Yes, 100%. It is. They started different factions of the same church. He called his the Church of the Lamb of God. He had 13 wives and 51 kids. He was born in 1925. And the funny thing is when you start talking about these people, it still runs into today. When you talk about the LeBarons, okay, you ever watch Sister Wives?
Yeah.
Well, Christine is from this family. That is her grandpa. So, when we're talking about this stuff, he still ran everything from prison. He got arrested for the 4 o'clock murders, and they were completely involved in that drug shootout that happened. Yes. So,
wow.
Yeah. And as far as Romney goes, he worked for Bain Capital. He worked with one of the most famous people from the Howard Hughes situation, his son, Robert Gay. And he was completely...
Was his last name Gay, or was he gay?
No, his last name is actually Gay. You know what makes me laugh the most in Mormonism? They
I can't
call each
believe
other
people
brother.
keep that last name. Can we change it, Gayson or something like that?
Jason, a little
Jason,
better. A little better.
not
It's
much
not that.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
it's
said.
not
Not that
much
much better.
Gayson,
Well,
Gayson.
when you
No,
go to
that
church,
doesn't work
they call
either.
him Brother Gay.
Brother Gay.
Brother Gay. You know he loved school, high school. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's so bad. And I mean, we're talking about, they worked together tight and they were doing all these microloans. And then what they would do is they would get these big companies to like go in with this loan and get all these investors, right? And then they would take over the company. And then the company would be like, we can't pay it, kind of like a check loan, basically. They're the check loaners of like the business world. But guess who one of their first investors were?
Who?
Robert Maxwell.
Yep.
Wow.
So it gets weird all over the place. And when the Bain Capital situation was going on, this Robert Gay was in the Quorum of the 70, which is super important. And actually, after everything happened, because his 14-year-old daughter in 1996 went missing because she went batshit crazy, probably because there was a lot of accusations there. And I'm not going to go into that because they're just accusations. Yeah. She took off on a drug bender and it looked really bad on the church. And so they parted ways and Gay moved away from that. Whereas Romney went ahead and was like forming groups in El Salvador of drug dealers with like the De Solo family, and they're disguising it as coffee. And it's just a whole thing. Like there's so much, like it gets bad. So they basically split their ways because the daughter went crazy and they had to close it down for a while. And Bain took over companies with existing loans and used the bank takeovers, like I said, until that happened. And then he gets close with like the Carlyle group and the Bin Ladens.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the whole story. The Bin Ladens were part of the Carlyle group. And the night before 9/11, they give them an award.
Yes.
I mean, dude, you can't write this. This would be thrown out in the Hollywood script going, nobody would believe that.
Right. And nobody does. They say I'm mentally imbalanced.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm telling lies. And I'm like, look, I didn't even want to know most of this stuff. Like most of my deep dives are like this. Hey, did you know about this thing? And I'm like, that's a lie. That's a lie. And then I go look it up and then I go down a rabbit trail and it's just bad, and down the hole I go. And it's just, you're just trying, like at first, honestly, I was just trying to prove everybody wrong.
It just all ends with occult and pedophilia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and secret societies, because all of them infiltrate all of them. Like you have to know there's like specific secret societies here that, like the Alta Club and all these different clubs that directly tie in to the Federal Reserve, like I was telling you. And that guy, the communistic William Godbey, he's the one that was the godfather to Heber J. Grant. And his mother worked for Heber J. Grant. And Grant is the one that said he would give anything if they would like promise anything, period, to Governor Lynch to start a Federal Reserve branch here in Utah. And so they did. And this is where things, I say, become it's a new church then. It's a church of money and CIA people. And
it's so deep, dude. It is so fucking deep.
So that guy that I told you about, this Heber J. Grant, he's young at this time and they get the Federal Reserve here. But guess what? Later, he becomes the prophet, seer, and revelator and president of the church. So that's the highest position you can get.
They just install people.
Yes, they do. And they are chosen. And if you want me to prove that, like there's Rotary Club stuff, there's John Birch Society stuff, there's Nazis, Permandex goes into them, like so many things.
There's
when
Nazis
I
in the
started
Mormon
looking, I
church?
just was like, this is like, you're right. And I think the day that I found it out, I kind of had like a panic attack. And I'm trying to tell my husband, I'm like trying to unload all this on him. And he's like, whoa, 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 right? He's like, I mean, I'm an ex-Mormon, but are you okay? Like, do you need to see a doctor? Like, what is happening?
Well,
and I'm like,
trying
no.
to tell him about the Nazis?
I was telling him about the Nazis and Bane and the John Birch Society and racism and blah, blah, blah. And he knew some of it, but not all of the things. And he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, it's everybody. Like, it's everybody. And the Maxwells and Onassis, because I do this whole thing on the Mormon Mafia. And I was like, it's never going to stop. Like, I've already done 4 installments of that series on my channel, and they're hours long. And most of the stuff, people are like, she's just full of shit. And I'm like, I wished I was full of shit.
Yeah, I wish I was wrong. It'd be a better place.
I mean, it makes you sad, kind of, because you grow up thinking it's different, you know?
I watched this video on Gnosticism the other day, and I'm not saying what is right and what is wrong, but they were talking about the demiurge, right? You know, you had this like kind of like this I don't know how to describe them. Basically, this table.
I know what the demiurge. Yeah, I study
right,
Gnosticism bunches.
These tables of gods, and one of them, and this is the joke, and I need to work it into my act for tinfoil hat crowds. But basically, Sophia was the feminine energy of the universe, and like the joke is that she was the first feminist. And she's like, I don't need a man, right? And she's like, I'm going to create my own life. And she creates the demiurge and instantly realized she made a mistake. Sounds like single mother. Made a mistake, right? And, but the demiurge doesn't know about the table of God, like the panel, the higher committee of gods, thinks he is God. And according to Gnosticism, creates the material world and the archons to manage it. And so Sophia gives divine spark to basically the spirits that were trapped in this thing that the demiurge created. And the demiurge hated it so much, his whole goal has been to basically eliminate the divine spark. And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but man, that lines up with the world we live in right now, right? These mass murders that are happening, war, all that stuff.
Well, they're always trying to I mean, I think it all goes back to Babylon, to be honest. Like, look at every time they do this to people, they're always brown people, usually. No, like, I think that, you know, Hitler, if you know about what he was doing, I mean, the eye teeth measuring, a whole bunch of other things, the occultism, right? They're trying to make a super race, and they think, you know, there's fallen angel blood. And I'm not against that thought. I actually entertain it a lot. But I just wonder, like, is this the sacrifice of the real Adam, right? Because they say Adam is from the dirt, and therefore his name Adam means ruddy of the earth. And so it makes you wonder, like, are we just going back to like Baal sacrifices here with this stuff?
I think 100%. If you look at the, excuse me, if you look at the death of all those kids in Texas in the flood, I mean, they're all Christians. I mean, that seems like a giant sacrifice.
There was a lot of political people involved in that one too.
You know, and I mean, that's what they do. War. You know, I was watching this video from the I forget the name of the website. I did some premium content on it, but you know, they were just basically saying the Romanovs were one of the 13 families of Russia, and they used war as sacrifice.
I mean, it fits. Like, honestly, we know that, you know, a lot of these things are pure sacrifice to whatever God they believe. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, not a bit. And it's sad.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. 100%. The children of Hawaii that are missing, that's a sacrifice. Man, it's so crazy, dude. It is so crazy.
You think, I mean, on another note, I mean, Hawaii's in trouble right now. The whole
tsunami.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a whole nother
tsunami. Like, there's tsunamis come, you're like, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? Just if it comes, let's just wrap it up.
You get in a boat. That's the only thing.
You're ready to go.
Yeah,
you're good.
I mean, I dream of sometimes just learn to do a submarine and just putting it in the backyard, and when like the big flood comes,
would work too.
Well, then
if
you
it's
got to
so
call
big.
Ghislaine
Well, no,
so she
but
can
if you're
teach you
in the
to
ocean,
drive it.
doesn't. It's just a little. As long as you're far enough, it's just a little. It's nothing in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's just once it comes to land, it
break.
starts to get pushed up, and then it goes.
Yeah, that's where you get in trouble.
But if you get a boat and you just get out far, I mean, like a little bit, you're fine.
To Johnny's point, the people that were in Hawaii at the time that this was announced, it was funny. They left some cruisers there. They're like, "Yo, we gotta go. We gotta get out off of land." So they went out to the middle of the ocean.
I see. Oh, like a cruise ship did.
Yeah.
No,
They
kidding.
left a bunch of people there.
So they went out.
They were like,
that.
"Peace out."
Where it's safe. That's why we need a
it's
boat.
bad.
Dude. We gotta get a
yeah,
boat.
but no, I think it's true. I do. Like, we know weather manipulation is a thing, and that's not just because we're on tinfoil hat. It's real. Like, if you Google that right now on normal Google, it will tell you so. And so, this has always been magic in my mind. I see so much that's alchemy and magic and occult, well, quote unquote occult. Like, I don't know what else you can call it, practices. And I'm not saying all magicians are evil, but a lot of them are. Like,
They are.
We don't know their agenda. Yeah.
They worship these fallen angels and these archons. Okay. Stop listening to us, dude.
I heard archangel.
Yeah, I heard fallen angels. Like, I gotta listen. I gotta tell Mark Zuckerberg what this. I gotta tell Tim
They're talking
Cook.
about me.
He's talking.
Speaking of fallen angels, or angels in general, Joseph, when he would refer to himself, which is why I think he actually did speak to something, he started referring to himself as Barakael. So,
jeez, dude.
Very interesting when you look into things like that. Do you know the God of Mormonism? His name is Elohim. And people will say, well, that's just an old Hebrew name of God. I'm like, yeah, do your research, though, because it's also a name of multiple gods or anything outside of the realm of existence of reality where we supposedly are. And it could be a fallen angel, a regular angel, a spirit, God. It could be a lot of things. So,
What do you think the true name of God is, or the true name of Jesus?
They said the true name of God, the Father, because they don't believe it's a separate person, is Elohim. They also don't, I'm going to say this delicately. They also say and have quoted in multiple conferences by prophets that Jesus was created just like any other man with passions and pleasure.
Damn, dog.
So we're not talking about Virgin
you're,
Mary.
You're
I don't
just
think.
shooting everybody.
And they're going to come for me for that one too. Oh, they never said that. Yes, they did. Look it up in
Here's
general
what I'm gonna
conference.
tell
It
you.
has been said many times. But anything that the Mormon church has like that, that's like, oh, I wish that prophet didn't say that. They'll do a couple things. They'll first say, well, Heidi, the prophet is just a man. Right. But he's talking to God. Okay, wait. When he's the prophet, he's talking to God, and those are God's words. But maybe he wasn't profiting that day. Maybe he wasn't a prophet in the mood.
He just
I don't
had
know.
a bad day, like a comic had a bad set.
Yeah.
It just was
So,
a bad
like,
set.
Yeah, like Brigham Young. Like, okay, this is my favorite one that they took away from Brigham Young. If you find your wife in bed with a black man, better to run him through with a sword than let either one of them live. And if you ever have a child or yourself have one drop of black blood in you, you can never have the priesthood. So,
well, I
there's
mean,
that.
like if you're studying Israel right now, they had that ship trying to get them food, and they're talking about how everybody on the ship was just isolated, and then the one black guy that tried to lead the unionizing of Amazon, they took him aside and they tortured the shit out of him.
Fuck.
I'm telling you, like, it is not the curse of Cain for the Mormons. Brown people are different than black people for the Mormons. And there's been many very bad things said.
But they
until
love to pay them $6 million to play basketball at their college.
Well, only until 1978. 1978, they finally said that the black man could come to heaven too.
What?
So,
What?
Just to help the sports, to be
Just
clear.
literally. So they're paying this kid $6 million to play basketball this year.
The Bonza, yeah.
Yeah, you think they're going to invoke that rule? You can't hook up with anybody on campus?
I mean,
well,
they've-
not
they've-
now,
they've
because
not-
now every commercial ever now for the LDS church has got like 10 black people in it.
They've
'Cause
kicked out some really good players in the past for hooking up with women.
Well, the problem is, like, how good were they? Because, like, that kid that just left to play, their quarterback went to a shitty school. None of the really
there have
good
been
schools.
others, though.
We'll see, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think
Carla.
that. No, I think the bonds they'd figure it out.
they're like,
They'd-
okay, these ones you can hit.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
you
it's
can
okay
bang
now.
these
Now they
ones.
push that it's great.
But
But I don't know if you know the
It's
story.
okay for them to have premarital relations. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh,
not
that's what we're
premarital.
talking about. We're talking about they kick out players for premarital sex in their sports programs.
But they got the.
Well,
like,
that's
the
only if they
number-
find out. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the number one recruit. Like, here's what's going to happen with that kid. If he goes there and he's not instantly a star, they're going to have one of these chicks going to be
Oh,
like,
that's
yeah,
brilliant. Yeah. I
yeah,
wonder
we
if,
hooked up. You're out. Goodbye.
I wonder if they put that in his contract.
Oh,
Maybe, like,
yeah.
Oh, they do. They put all kinds of stuff in their contracts like
the
that.
no.
And just FYI, if he comes to Utah, he's in all kinds of trouble. He has no idea. The women out here don't see that many black people, and it's like
exotic.
the best wine.
like
Like he's
catnip.
gonna get attacked.
100%. When I went to college, they were called Jack Mormons, and they were great.
Are they welcoming? Like, even though they want to be like
Sounds like it.
diverse?
Listen, when I do episodes like this, I go, oh, the people of Salt Lake are gonna hate me, but I love Salt Lake. I go there all the time to do stand up, and it is wonderful.
They do laugh.
Well, and here's the thing. Basically, everything I'm telling you today is old news. This is like old. This is all
We don't
back in the
care.
day.
You remember?
Yeah.
Remember when we were? Did you go with me to Utah?
I've been a couple times to
Salt
Utah
Lake,
with you.
but we were doing a show, and there was a bunch of like gorgeous, like 30-year-old women there.
Yeah.
And all they wanted to do was hook up with the Samoan guards. I mean, they were all over them. Like, they were over us, and then boom, they saw Samoans. They're like, oh, that's even darker. Let's go.
No, it's real. It's a thing out here. Like, they are a rare commodity, and they are definitely revered. And now the church even pushes it because now it's okay. So,
And what's
but
really funny, hold
until
on.
1978, they were. Do you know the story about why people are black in the Mormon church?
Oh, no, why?
No, it's fun. It's not about the mark of Cain. So they believe that all of us live in something called the premortal existence, and that we chose all of our problems and our parents and all of the things we go through here. That's all your fault, just FYI. And then we are up there as these spirit children waiting to come down and jump in the body, kind of like Scientology there. But so they're waiting to come down to heaven, and everybody's chilling there. And then Jesus and Lucifer were brothers, and they got in a fight. And, Jesus wanted to give people like free will to choose, and Lucifer wanted to force them. So there was the war in heaven. And then, the people that didn't decide, they were like, oh my gosh, who do we follow? Like, I don't know. They're both great. Like, what do we do? Those people were called the fence sitters, and that's why they're black.
Whoa.
And it's like, well, not now, but before 1978 was one of the worst things you could do to mix your blood with a black person. And those Kingstons I was telling you about that believe their blood is the actual blood of Jesus Christ, they don't mix blood at all. And they don't give a shit
that
what you
is
say.
crazy. There's this notion that 23andMe is all about trying to find the descendants of Jesus.
Ooh, I didn't think about
I
that.
sort of believe that. So have you ever seen the granite genealogical vault?
No.
Well, let me tell you. So this 23andMe thing, this happened on the day that Diddy was arrested. Every single person on the board of 23andMe quit on the same day.
Whoa.
So I found that interesting. So I screenshotted it because I thought,
hold
I'm
on.
gonna keep
What
that.
happened on the same day that they all quit?
The exact day. And this
what
lady,
happened? What happened?
they all quit. Diddy got arrested. Everybody
really?
quit.
Whoa.
And there's
Weird.
So the Mormon Church, like I said, underneath Howard Hughes, underneath a company called Hughes Dynamics, William Gay, he was the one that started computerizing everything. Do you know how they got that information? All these genealogical sample, like information, not samples, not DNA, but the information.
No.
I do. So the Nazis liked Mormons because there's quotes even that I can't 100% prove that float around that Hitler said the Mormon is the Ubermensch because they don't mix their blood. So he loved Mormons, and he did not persecute them like other religions. And that is proven because the Mormons decided they would help out the Nazis and help them prove 3 lines back to prove, and I quote, that nobody held from a Jewess in their line. So you had to prove this before you go on dates with people back then. And so they said, look, we'll help you. Okay. We'll help you out, but you have to give us these records because genealogy is really important to us because we go and baptize all the dead people. And so they're like, maybe. Okay. Yeah. It sounds like a good deal. We'll do that. So, but where did their information go? It's not as simple after the war ended about the information, right? We know it went where? Went to the government, right?
Yeah.
And that would be the CIA and the FBI and whatnot. And so what happened is the CIA handed it over to the Mormons, all of the punch cards that were done against the Jews. Yeah. They handed all of those cards over to the Mormons to digitize everything. And it is kept inside these. Too?
Do you see the name in there? The Wojcicki, whatever her name is?
Oh, Wojcicki. Her sister was the one from YouTube and a bunch of people. There's a death trail, you see.
One of their sisters or that girl, that woman who owned 23andMe, she's married to the guy who founded Google. So they know what you're watching. They have your DNA and they have your search engine history.
Well, and her sister was over YouTube and she died 2 months before that happened. And her son died like in February of that year.
Yeah. So what I got from that is that even the masters of mankind will be sacrificed.
They will screw you
in these
screw you
giant
over.
psyops. That
well, if you mess up, they're going to get rid of you.
Yep. I agree, man. It's pretty crazy. Well, listen, I enjoyed this. Why don't we set up a second interview to get you to come on and talk about mafia, the Mormon mafia in greater detail? Because there's a bunch of stuff I'd love to talk to you about.
Absolutely. Can I tell you 3 more things before we go about this building right here?
Yeah.
And the IBM. So just so people know, Mary Maxwell Gates worked for IBM and she gets skipped over a lot. She was not technically on their payroll because she was on the board of IBM and she's the one that facilitated all of this. And this is, you guys can go to the CIA declassified docs to see what I'm talking about as far as these punch cards and everything. But this is the building they keep them in. This is just supposed to be, your genealogy. It's got armed guards, one road in and one road out. They blew a hole in the side of the mountain, and that's here where I live. And that is why they have it so heavily guarded. They say is just because of family history. I don't know about that with all of these records, right? But I know one thing, there's a tight relationship with the Gates family and the Mormon Church, because do you know who owns the most farmland in America?
Bill Gates.
Do you know who owns the second most?
Mark Zuckerberg.
The Mormon Church. And the Mormon Church, their number one stock portfolio, because you can find out fascinating things like about who people support with their little stocks, right? If you're a really rich person, their number one holding is Microsoft. So there is no doubt to me that these people have been working together clear back from the day, including with his mother. So that is all I have to say about that. This is one row. Don't they own a big
chunk of Coke and they don't drink soda?
No, so the whole thing is they cannot drink. Originally it was hot liquids, which was coffee and tea back then. And then I kind of feel like that came from, they're also not supposed to eat meat all the time. They're supposed to be like mostly eating vegetables. It's like this whole clean eating thing, but none of them do it. They're all addicted crazy to sugar. And they are one of the first people to manufacture beet sugar, which is horrible for you, and had all of their products shipped all over with the railroad that they helped build, because the railroad finished up here in Utah at Promontory Point.
Whoa.
Yeah, it gets, they're so intertwined with the government at this point that, it's a hard sell for me to believe anybody at the upper echelon isn't in on this, basically. And then one day I'll show you too about like the Mormon garments and the ceremony. I'm pretty sure we could fit it in on that second piece too, because it's weird. It's very occultic.
So occultic, dude. It's just crazy times. Crazy.
But Yeah, it was fun. I had a blast. I would love to talk to you about
Yeah,
the
we'll
Mormon
definitely
Mafia.
set it up. You know how the show was great because it just flew.
Yes.
That's
yes.
how you know.
I had
You
a
were
blast.
never on the screen, by the way. Do you know that, right?
I don't care. Yeah, no, it's not a problem at all. I wanted to show you the things like so you could see because I mean the stuff I'm telling you is really weird.
Okay. So real quick,
Yeah.
one more time, where can they find you?
Thank you so much again for having me on, and I'm so happy to have met you all and had a fun time. So I am Heidi Love. I'm of the Unfiltered Rise. I'm everywhere podcasts are served. I do have my own website, unfilteredrisepodcast.com. If you don't like Podchasers, I do want to say I am on YouTube. I'm only on there once a week. You're going to find probably 3 drops a week on my Spotify because YouTube keeps dinging me. So yeah.
Well, I think you're great. I love what you're doing.
Thank
And I'm glad you started a show and you have an open door to come back anytime you want. And I thought this was great. Thanks for coming on the show. Let's break down the episode. All right, let's get into it. What did you guys think of Heidi Love?
She makes me want to meet more Mormons.
Dude, really? That's what you got out of that?
Yeah, she's a good Mormon. Her, like, I mean,
she's not a Mormon.
She's
though.
literally
Right.
not a Mormon.
She
I
told
think
us
you just said something and
Yeah.
you don't know what
Uh-huh.
you said.
Yeah,
No,
now you're
because-
committing to it.
Yeah,
It's the
now
first
you're
thing you thought
doubling
of.
down on dumb. No, listen, and this is whenever we do something on the Mormon Church, I feel so bad about because I love Utah. It's a great place to do comedy, and I'm sure we're going to get some pissed off people. But she says this is all known, so maybe they're not going to get mad. Salt Lake is probably one of the most underrated comedy cities.
You always say that. Yeah, you always say that.
I mean, it's so funny because black NBA players don't want to play there. I'm like, why? Maybe it's because there's not a lot of nightclubs. I don't know.
There's no black scene there. You know what I mean? So it's hard to have
Yeah, and guess what? So I forgot to bring up the story about Odin Powles. You met Paulson? I think was the old center. He was like 7 foot in the NBA, and he just went crazy one day. And when he played for the Jazz, and he decided to act like he was a cop and pull somebody over, and he's like, "I'm a police officer." They're like, "No, you're Utah Jazz. You play for the team." I mean,
you're the only black guy in Utah.
there's like 2 7-foot black guys in the state,
That's so
and you're
funny.
one of them.
Same with Karl Malone, dude. He couldn't stay out of trouble when he was in Utah.
Well, you know what's
And
so
before,
funny is like
and after.
now everybody hates Karl Malone.
Yeah, finally.
This story comes out about him and like the 14-year-old or the 15-year-old, and now he's like getting even Wemby was like shit
saw
talking
that,
him
yeah.
on the internet, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of good. Like he now gets booed in Utah. They boo him. Imagine booing the mailman in Utah. They boo
Crazy.
him.
It's crazy.
Again, it's like we gotta have Adam Green back. We have to have him back on.
I feel like you reference him as much as anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we should have him
he's
back
on your mind a lot,
But he's
yeah.
been talking about this at the deepest realms. Everything's gets into Kabbalahism, and now she's talking about how there's all these Hebrew symbolism in all this old Mormon,
I mean,
symbols.
it's so old, and it seems to be a source for so many of these things that it's kind of inevitable, right? It's crazy.
So this is my battle, Johnny. Is like as you hear all this stuff as a Christian, do you dismiss it?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Do you dismiss energy work and all that stuff? Like as a Christian? Mysticism, all that stuff? Not
No.
your programming,
dismiss
but
it.
deep
No, not
inside
offhand.
you.
No. I think there's something to it. Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily benign. I don't know. I might have a cost on the other end. I mean, a lot of this magic stuff has a cost. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I fear is that there's some you pay for it somewhere. On
Yeah.
the other end.
I understand what you're saying.
Do you say like would you say like manifesting something in a weird way might
Maybe
give you
I
some
don't
karma
know.
at the
I don't
end?
know. Possibly.
Well, they do say that's the dark arts Satanist stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I fear that. That I think about. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like prayer is enough. I've seen kind of how that works. You know what I mean? So why not do it in that construct? Is kind of how I feel personally. Like praying.
It just seems like there's mysticism out there, and the question is it all negative? Is it all bad?
Well, I think if you, here's my deep feeling is that Okay, so what you're describing, the kind of the what do you like, the directed thinking and the kind of, you wouldn't call it magic. What do you call it? What do you call it?
Mysticism.
No, but when you
sorcery,
when you're trying to manifest things in your life, what do you call that? The ritual of that. What do you
manifest?
Just manifestation. Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Well, that to me is no different than prayer. But with prayer, you have an intercessor. That's what they call it, like the Holy Ghost or something, and they are kind of packaging that for you in a healthy way. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of taking your hopes and dreams, and because
what is the Holy Ghost?
Well, I mean, that's a big question, dude.
That's why I asked it. I asked big questions.
There's disagreement throughout Christianity, but it's like you can say it's an intercessor. It's kind of the spirit that fills you up when you're that ties you to God and Jesus when you're saved. To use that evangelical term. But to me, it's through prayer. It's kind of like the safe version of doing that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that you're not incurring that like karmic debt, possibly.
Okay.
This might be like a weird take on it, but do you also feel like you can't use it a lot? Like I remember when I got my DUI, I was like, please God, please God, I don't really ask you for much.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, come on, this would be the time where you can maybe,
Yeah, but
come through.
I love that God's like dealing with like what's going on in the Congo and Palestine. He's like, hold on, what is XG asking for?
I don't ask for much. That's what I was trying to tell him. I was like, I don't ask for much, dude. Like today would be a really nice day for you to like forget about what's going over there in Gaza.
Have you gotten a DUI before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like when I was like 18. And it was crazy because I blew over the limit, but I was underage, so anything over 000. I mean, it got wet and reckless. I got a lawyer, but it was still that moment in time where I saw the lights and I was like, please God, like I never really ever come through like that.
I had this cop the other day. I did a show at the Ice House, and these two motorcycle cops went through the intersection and took a left, and he just stared at me the whole time. Ooh. And I was putting in address into my phone, and I just started, so my seatbelt wasn't on yet. And dude, I just watched him take off, turn down the street, and I'm like, oh, he's turning around to wait for me. So I buckled my seatbelt up, and I literally drive like this, like elbows up like this on the steering wheel. Why? Just so you can see, I got both hands on the wheel. I don't have a phone.
The most obvious guy.
He pulled right behind me and followed me for blocks, and I'm just driving like this.
There's this. I've seen, now that I watch all these civil rights lawyer videos, there are these cops that think that somebody acting too straight is like a sign that maybe they're
up to no good,
muling.
Like if you're going like right at the speed,
right at the speed limit. Yeah, like there's this guy that pulls over people in like Texas, and the video of him is just hilarious. And he thinks he's got like this sixth sense. He pulls this guy. He makes the guy come sit with him in a car, just a normal guy driving, who happens to be going the speed limit, and sits with him in the cop car and talks to him for like a half hour about how much time he spent in Iraq and how I can just kind of tell when somebody's got something with him, you know what I mean? And they bring a dog and do a fake hit on his car, and then he tells the guy with the dog before the dog tells him that there's drugs there. He's like, hey, this is the car we've been looking for, on this big thing we've been tracking, I can't say much about it, and it's not. It's just some guy.
And there's nothing in it?
There's nothing in it. No, and
what a piece of shit.
It's a lawsuit right now. But yeah, and I think the guy got fired, but he thought he was just had like a sixth sense.
And it really is just that fine. You remember, because the guy who came on and talked about Israel, and at the end, he kind of drifted off as we were hanging up on him. But he was like, yeah, cops kill blacks all the time. You're like, hang up, And it's just like, if you want lawlessness, go live in San Francisco. Tell me how that's going.
Not great.
It's not great. You also don't want cops overreaching. And I don't know what the answer is.
It's hard to find. We got to do a better job of picking the people who do that job, is the thing.
Well, they take tests and they want them to fail.
Yeah.
You guys saw that video, that black guy that gets punched, where they break the window.
All this stuff.
That video, or that one video. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
No, you know exactly.
But then you see from the cop side, And the cop's like, get out of the car. No.
And close the door on him like a little kid. Like, no.
Yeah, and I don't know what the answer is
I have
there.
so much copophobia. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. I do. I'll start doing jumping jacks, whatever the fuck they want, just to get it over with. Even when I got arrested for drugs, I'm like, it's not your fault, guys. It's my fault. I'm sorry. You guys are good guys.
I mean, that sounds like Stockholm syndrome or
Yeah,
something.
well, because dude, they can literally make your life.
Yeah, and
What you're doing is making something that's just simply a traffic ticket. Obviously, with drugs, it's a little bit more than that. But a traffic ticket into a felony.
Yeah. And I don't, I mean, and the problem is, even if they don't have legitimate cause,
They can make one up.
Yeah, they just make it up.
You know, there's a fine line.
And I love the one. Can you get a warrant? You don't have a warrant for that. Oh, they can get a warrant.
Yeah, you don't have the warrant come in.
Yeah,
No. You don't have.
Well, in your house they can't. Now there are great protections on you in your own home. They do. They have to have a warrant to come in your house.
No, but your car though. Even when you say,
Not
"Oh,
your
you
car.
need a warrant
No,
for that,"
no, well, no. They have to have probable cause. They can stop you for traffic stuff. But then if they want to search your car, they have to have probable cause for that.
Can't anything really be a probable cause? Can't
Not
you say
really.
It
No,
smells
it's
like
not
weed?
supposed to be.
Like-
That can be probable cause for them to, like, they can bring a dog after that, I think, or something, or pull you out and like search you and stuff. But I don't. Dude, they all think. Well, not all. I won't say all. A lot of them think that they have some kind of sixth sense for it, and that's where they end up just pulling over innocent people because they're like, I know this guy's holding. I'm gonna find just a micro joint from 30 years ago that's in the back seat, and then they put you away.
But even when they plant it, it's like, what scumbags?
Yeah.
I support cops. I mean,
Of course, good cops I support. Not all of them.
100%. Because we've seen what happens when the cops don't show up. It's just chaos.
You don't want
and that's
that
the
either.
whole Marxist thing. It's like they push it as, oh, let's just, we're not going to arrest them because it's racism. And then maybe if we stop charging them all the time, they'll stop committing crimes. Like, no, they took them, what?
We might want to do that and then come back to.
Okay.
Yeah, remember.
Guys, real quick, as I do that awesome rant, go to SamTripoli.com. Huntington Beach, Kansas City. I'm very excited. Chicago, Illinois, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and then the big one, the fat man at the Comedy Mothership. I'm very excited. Hope everyone comes out and hangs out. I'd love to see everybody. And then Skankfest. Yeah. So, anyways, I thought it was a great episode. Oh, also you guys got to check out our my premium content's fire, dude. I mean, it's just fucking fire.
I heard that about it.
It's fire. I'm just crushing it, doing deep dives. I mean, whatever this is, deep conspiracy rewinds, finding great content out there to just watch with you guys and talk about it. Cash Daddies.
Yes, he's killing it right now.
Oh my God, we went over 1,400. So that was 20
nice.
people since we recorded.
Nice. Well, yeah, you guys ain't giving away for free no more, so people got to fucking sign up.
Yeah, thank God. Johnny, how much is he killing it?
Yeah, pretty much. We're kind of waiting on these the market to kind of have a downturn because it's just been smashing all-time highs, and
Howie is killing it.
So
Howie is killing it.
Would you say it would be a good time to come in, like in the future?
It's always a good time.
Always,
It's always a good time. Always banking. And if you're lucky, Howie will put out exactly what he's telling you to do
Yeah, for free.
in the title, so you don't have to subscribe. And no matter how much we tell him not to do that, he just keeps doing it.
So you can get a free one if you just go to Patreon, Cash Daddies, and show up once a week. You might get a free
show
one.
up once a week.
You might
It's a
get
fun
a free
show.
one.
It's a fun show. What else is it? And just real quick, go down. I have 3 new T-shirts coming. 2 of them will be online. One will be a new what's it called? What do I go?
Mystery T-shirt.
Mystery T-shirt. You're not allowed to see it before you got, but I got 3. One is the Go Army. The Wood Army. That's going.
Oh, I can already picture it.
Yeah, Wood Army. And then Modern Day Prophet. I'm going to get that going up
What
there.
is that shirt you have on right now?
This is my Bang Bang Pow.
I like
Bang
that.
Pow,
That
baby.
looks cool, dude.
The Bang Bang Pow
With those
shirt.
colors, the gray and the black, I like
Yeah,
that.
but I also wanted to do it in color, but that's a different day. New T-shirts going up all the time. Tinfoil at t-shirts.com. Check them out. Great Way Sports Show. All of our affiliates are great affiliates. Oh, and then the Chaos Twins Just got the final pages. They're going to start coloring it, so it will be live. I'll be going on the road promoting the shit out of that. Get it. It's family friendly. And then finally, dude, Rife Technology, buy gold and silver, Mineral King from Pat Militich. You know, get that bacteria out of it. Hydrogen brown gas, Harley Raid. We got their candles, crystals, and sage. I took it today. Chemical free body. I love it. EMF rocks. Dirty Energy, Prometheus. If you want a nice website, and then Brain Supreme. If you did you take it today?
1 week on, 1 week off, and it's a week on. So yes.
Okay, dude. Okay, great questions by him. Anything else, Xavier?
Hit that like button, subscribe. Don't forget, we got a new YouTube page, YouTube Tinfoil Hat YouTube. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, so head over there, please.
You got to go to youtube.com didn't we find out? It's
at Tinfoil Hat YouTube.
Yeah.
At Tinfoil Hat YouTube. Johnny?
At Johnny Woodard on Twitter. Come hang out. It's fun.
All right, guys. Enjoy these highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim. This is from E! News. Matt Rife is taking his crowd work to a new dimension. Boy, that's really clever. Indeed, the comedian revealed that he purchased the Connecticut home of Ed and Lorraine Warren, which has been the inspiration for multiple famous horror films. We know about all of those. And with that purchase came the responsibility of being the legal guardian for at least the next 5 years of the entire haunted collection, including the Annabelle doll.
Bro, it's just dark arts, bro. And I love Matt Rife. You know, every time I've had a conversation with him, he's been a nice dude.
Yeah.
But man, when you literally say, I just bought an occult museum.
Yes, it's why. Why did you do that? Sorry, I'm plugging in this fan. So.
I mean, there's things I don't want to get too deep in. Like, I just, you know me, dude, I don't like to go after comics.
Well, no, but there have been a lot of questions about his rise, right? Like,
well, you know, I heard him making a joke to somebody about how he sold his soul. I told you that a long time ago, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I sold my soul. And I was like, I know I heard that. I go, what, dude? You know me, dude. I'm like, what? I don't know, dude. It's fucking nuts.
Do you think, I mean,
that's a creepy ass thing to buy.
It's also, I mean, just to say that is bizarre.
And then to do an announcement on it. I mean,
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I wonder, is he,
bro,
I mean, is he into that stuff?
Like, is he
famously into that stuff?
I've never heard that. I mean, maybe he is. I mean, he had a travel show where he did with some guys on his podcast. I don't know what his show was before.
Mm-hmm.
But dog, who hears about a guy dying and then be like, I want to buy that?
Maybe that's the best time to buy it. You know, everybody's afraid. You get in low, bro. Like the Palisades, get in low, buy low.
Oh yeah, dude. Hey, dude. Hey, you get a call from your real estate guy. Listen, listen. We have a golden opportunity here. We got a doll that just killed somebody. And it's at its lowest value possible. I know you want to get into the occult. This is a great time. This is a great time, dude. You get this now. They'll throw the doll in for free. Buy now. And what do you think? So this is, I think, in Louisiana, right?
Is it? Hold on. I don't know about that. Let me see. Where is it?
Someone just hit it. Lucrative gay dollars, dog. Lucrative gay dollars. Dude, by the way, Johnny.
I will say, okay, there's a clarification. I'm sorry, go ahead. What?
It's morning in Australia.
Okay, thank you, whoever said that.
Yeah.
They aren't the official owners of the Annabelle doll, he clarified. He said they are the, whatever this means, legal guardians and caretakers of the items for the next few years. He says Ed and Lorraine Warren, spelled incorrectly here, arguably put demonology and paranormal into the mainstream and are at the very heart of some of the most famous haunted stories of all time. He says, what this means for you guys is you are going to soon be able to book a night or a weekend and stay at the Warren's house and investigate the house, he revealed.
Nope. Goodbye.
No, thank you.
Not happening. Nope. I'm not going anywhere fucking haunted. I'm not going to bring that shit.
Or regular haunted. Here is a picture of him at the house there.
Oh, dude, he got in front of the fucking What are
Let's stop effing here if we can help it. He's got a God's country shirt on. Which
Oh God, what are you doing, dude? He's bulking up too, dude, right?
yeah,
He's
he sure
sick.
is. Yeah, he sure
Look at
is.
those forearms, dude. Damn, bro.
Okay.
You better get strong. You're gonna be fighting them demons, dude.
Stop before you start looking into his eyes.
Dude, he's dreamy. I bet you he did. They're in it. Gay dollars. Matt Rife gets gay dollars. And
Oh, boy.
good for him. Gets
Yeah.
all those gay dollars.
Oh boy, does he. Okay. This is we're
Yes,
getting to
the
the
comedy
news.
store is haunted. Okay, but I've battled them demons, dude. I've seen them face to face.
Yeah,
They know me.
You've seen some things
You
there.
think you don't know me, homie? The ghosts of the comedy store know me, homie.
Is that they know you? Is that what? Is that?
They
so
know me,
you're not
homie.
worried?
They're
Yeah, it's
cool
funny.
with
I
me,
used to
dude.
live in a house that was built in the 1800s on our farm.
Keep that
Where
up.
all, but I told people that were like, "Hey, is it haunted?" I'm like, "Yeah, if it is, it's all people I'm related to. So what am I afraid of?" Did he just okay? I was on a different tab, and then Sam just disappeared.
You think you know me?
What did you do? What just happened?
Homie.
We're so professional. What did you just do?
What'd you just do?
What happened? I was on another. I was pulling up something, so I don't know what happened.
Don't worry about it, Johnny.
Don't even worry about it. I won't worry about it. So this is let's say film cinema purists are okay. I guess Sam has to go. You got an emergency, a bathroom emergency? What's going on here? Zen, are you zenning it? What is this? Sam, for those listening, is this guy's headphones unplugged and he's just he's got his Jesus figurine. I see.
Johnny, when we talk about Matt Rife, and
You gotta have your Jesus
I
figurine.
gotta bring him in, dude.
Oh no.
Right?
Sam has got his anti-porn Jesus figurine.
Johnny, ask me how many days.
How many days?
15, nigga.
Oh, did you just say the N-word on the stream?
Oh,
Dude,
sorry.
I can't edit it out. We're not going to get monetized now. And
Okay, sorry, dude. I should have said it.
Oh,
I should have said it. I'm sorry.
I wonder if we can camouflage it, like make it sound like something. Nickel.
We can go back
I
after.
love nickels. Nickels,
Nickels,
dimes, quarters. Those are my favorite coins. What's your favorite coins? Do you like nickels too? Do you like nickels too?
I like
love
nickels.
Yeah, nickels because they're the perfect size. You know, just to like flip, or you could throw nickels at things.
Nickel.
Right, maybe we camouflage it there. So film
Dude,
purists.
afterwards, just cut it out, dude.
I can't cut it out on the live stream, bro.
That's okay, but yeah, you can of a live stream. I've done it.
Yeah,
before.
but it's not. It won't help you with the monetization once.
You won't help me with the monetization.
Okay. So the film purists, movie purists, cinema purists are shitting themselves because at the Sphere in Vegas, they have. Are you listening?
Yeah.
They've taken a version of The Wizard of Oz. They've cut like, I don't know, it was like 40 minutes out of it. And they've used AI to expand the frames so that it goes to the edge of the Sphere. And they're doing a production of The Wizard of Oz. Stop looking at the comments. I'll show you a little bit about this. It's pretty interesting how this technology they've used. So this is 60 minutes talking about it. Can you hear this?
Dude, we're gonna get hit.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not gonna play all of it. I'm gonna skip around. But look, I want to show you what they've done here without playing.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it is cool, dude. If you get a little buzz on going there, oh, buddy. So what they've done though is I'll show you.
Whoa,
they've expanded
cool
the
as
frames
shit.
using AI. Because look, this is what it originally looked like. You'll see here in a second. You see this down here is what it looked like originally, and then they've used AI to expand the frame all the way to the edge.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
And then, dude, during the tornado scene, they have these like giant fans in there that blow debris around, like leaves, fake leaves and stuff.
Yeah,
So it feels like you're in a look at this. So it feels like you're in a tornado while you're. Now, of course, as they do with everything fun, anal people are saying that this is destroying the art of Wizard of Oz.
No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's making it's taking it to another level.
And a whole new generation. You think kids are sitting around watching the Wizard of Oz these days? It's too slow paced for them.
Dude, I've tried to show my kids all that old stuff. They're like, nah, we good.
Are your
We
kids
good.
suddenly? Are your kids growing up in the ghetto now? Is that what this
Yeah,
is?
my
We
daughter.
good. We
and
good,
then
pops.
Then
Yo,
she
pops,
just
we good,
crip
dog.
walks away.
Yeah. I mean, dude, people are like, honestly, I got into it a little on Twitter with one of these film critic guys, and they are losing it on this one, man. Like, properly, they say this is the slippery slope that leads to just full AI movies and stuff. And I'm like, no, dude, this is akin to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride at a theme park. That's all this is. This is going to be one place where they're doing this. You have to go there and pay like $300 to go see it.
I would do it.
It's nothing, but it's nothing like an actual. It's not. If it was a movie that was going to be everywhere around the country, yeah, you might have an argument.
Here's the thing, dude.
Not this.
Your life is going really good when you can get upset about this stuff.
Yes.
In a world that is in chaos, this is a big issue for you.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/SamTripoli.
Go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hat.